Welcome. Let me get this situated here. 1 second. Alright, that's gonna be good enough for now. I got Mr.B in the wing. I'm just gonna pull him up right away. Let me switch screens. And basically just gonna jib-jab for a little bit. And then we'll look at the after dark races around 10 o'clock when they close. We'll find some angles, put some wagers in, and we'll have Mo up to call the races probably about 10 minutes before the first race goes off. Let me switch up my screens. Ignore me for a minute. Jeez. There we go. Should be better. Mr. B, how goes it?
Hey, how you doing?
It's been a long time, you've been away for a little bit.
Yeah, once every 5 years I take a vacation.
I like hearing it.
It's weird to be on here without Stens,
Well, Stens is prioritizing poker, I think, tonight. He said if poker falls through, he'll be up.
That's good. I want to be on without Stens, once in a while. Otherwise, I'm afraid Ian's going to nerf my horses. So
yeah, that and you never get to speak either. So now you have all the time in the world to talk. So it's nice.
Well,
I want to talk about a couple of things. I have you up here because you are I guess not a lot of people know the stable that I manage from my pal Zook. We're under Mario Jane Racing, but I think we have the highest Serenity Now full sales so far. I wanted to ask you, I didn't know if you had any that you sold or if you saw any that were higher, but I think 450,000 Derby is the largest one so far.
Yeah, I sold some subsequent to that, but not for that. I don't have anything as good as that with those kind of preferences. So right now, people are kind of really valuing the preferences. That has been the meta for a while. A lot of people bought,
man,
and so that's continuing. So the people that bought kind of low grade, not that you did in this case, but people that have bought lower grade fillies with 8.5, 9 preferences and bred up. Those have been selling very well. So yeah. I think the market right now is really rewarding the high preference colts and fillies. We'll see how that plays out over time. But right now, it's been a winner, and you really nailed that breed in the sense that you got the preferences there, which you wouldn't. You got a good preference roll on that, I think, right? Yeah.
8 of 9 isn't bad. I mean, I'm trying to find her real quick, but here she is. Yeah, 332. That's nothing to like. That's pretty nice. And
what was the preferences on the filly that the Joey Porter Jr.?
Hold on, so let me shut this off. I had the AC running. One more time. What was that?
I'm just saying, how many preferences did Joey Porter Jr. have? What is that?
3, 2.5, 1.5.
Yeah, so 7.
Yeah.
So you had 2 7s that made an 8. That's a pretty good roll, and you got up to the S. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a nice look. I can't make heads or tails of the market. I
can't either. I didn't really have a set price. I asked in Discord. I said, "What's the gauge on this?" I got 6. I got 4. I got 5. So I threw, hit it right in the middle, and it didn't sit up there that long, honestly. I think I posted around 1 a.m., 11 p.m., and I woke up and 5:30, it was gone. So didn't really sit up there that long.
I remember I've kind of adjusting. Finally, I slept until 5 this morning, but I was in Europe on vacation, and now the first night I woke up at 2 in the morning, and I was waking up at 3:34. I made it till 5 this morning, but I remember getting up and early and having some tea, and I looked at the sales and I was like, "Oh, holy shit! Your horse sold." So that was exciting.
Yeah, didn't really expect it, honestly. I really didn't expect it. I really did not expect it because I talked it over with Zook, and Zook's main thing with this horse was we're just gonna breed her we're going to keep the fillies. We'll raise some males, you know, whatever. We lose them in claiming or we sell them. But like, we're going to start with her. But when I told him like what was going on the past few weeks, it's really hard not to try and sell. And I told him, I was like, I think we sell one. You know, we recoup your cost of, you know, the ticket, which was huge because then we had a little bit to play with. But like get out of the red as fast as you can and then settle in and play. And he gave me the green light, and I told him, I was like, I'm just gonna put it up for a number that I don't think anyone will pay, but if someone pays, they're here right now. So that was the number, and when I called him and told him, he just started laughing. He just couldn't believe it. So, but yeah, that's where we're at now with that one. It sucks because she was the first one that was, you know, she was race ready next month,
right?
Because we were a month behind on breeding, but we've gone back to Serenity now 3 times, and I'll likely go back again next month too, and just keep spewing S's until there's, you know, maybe a reason to not go to Serenity.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in a couple of periods. You know, MoKnowz horses will be coming out there, so things might change at that point.
Yeah, and I had a talk with him on the side too, because he's the other. I guess he's the LTS end boss for photo finish. So I picked his brain, and yeah, congratulations on the crazy sale. But yeah, I mean that, you know, congrats to you for owning the stud. Congrats to me for picking the number, and congrats to 360 for just coming in and dropping 60,000 casually in the last, you know, 2 weeks.
Yeah, on a stable. He sold a horse today.
Also selling too. Yeah, I was gonna say they're also selling horses too. They're not just buying. Like, they moved a couple. I mean, granted, they have bought, but they have also sold some horses. So listen, they're playing all aspects. That's really nice to see. You just don't see them coming in like hogging up and not doing anything. But yeah, they've definitely built something here.
Yeah,
they have 3 nice S fillies. Handful of S minus.
They certainly weren't you know, bargain basement shopping, but they got nice pieces.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%.
We'll see.
100%.
You know,
and then I forget who they bought this one from. They actually bought a broodmare to breed. So like, they have one horse to breed with. 125K for an A minus.
It must have high preferences, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, that's the meta these days, and we'll see.
She popped out an S minus with Zeus, so that's kind of nice. Like the full grade.
Yeah. I can't make heads or tails of the last couple of weeks. I was away when all the stuff started going crazy, and I mean, I've been buying, you know, PFL assets from like day one. I basically had sold almost nothing until like GVG joined, and even then I didn't sell that much. Then I kind of sold a bunch of colts and a couple of fillies in the first breeding crop, because I was just like, all right, let me get some money. And I think a lot of people, you know, that have been true believers and are still true believers in the game are like, you know what, we put so much freaking money into this game, let's at least get our nut back, or as much of it as we can.
Yeah.
You know, with the crown and with some of these horses. So it's like, people are like, why are you selling? And I'm like, well, one, I can't manage, you know, like 600 horses. And I saw it in the vein, if you keep all the fillies, you know, right now is you're just increasing by 1 each breeding period, right? But then starting next one, you're going to be like doubling up. You're going to have, and so it's like you just can't manage that many horses. And you obviously want new players in the game to get horses. So the game's got to grow. You know, we kind of have to sell. And it makes everyone's mental health a lot better if they're like, okay, you know what? I got my nut back. You know, my wife's not going to kill me because I threw away $50,000 buying digital horses. And so it's not like people that are selling now aren't like really true believers in the game. I mean, I'm like all in. I've always been all in on this thing.
You have to take something out at some point. You can't just keep putting in. If you have an opportunity to take out, you do that. And that's what I try to tell Zook. we don't have like your Jesus Christ. You have so many fucking foals, Mr.B. You have so many horses. Oh, jeez. But like that's what I was telling Zook. It's like you made this giant investment, not giant. Like I think the ticket was like 2,200, I think, at the time for S minus, and she's one of the better S minus LTSs there is. But at the time, like that was in first beta when we bought that horse, Yeah. To wait that long and then have the opportunity to like get your investment back and then some, you have to take those, you have to pick those spots. Like, yeah, and you're probably the perfect example, honestly, because you were just, before you left for vacation, you were buy for no reason. You were just buying, and then now you gotta, and that was I kind of wish I had a small bankroll to start up with, but that would have been the time to like, you bought it a good time. We'll just put it that way. So anything you move from there, you're gonna make a little bit off of, which is also nice to, it chips away at the red. That's all you want to do at this point. We gotta chip away and try and get into the green a little bit. But
I don't know. I think we're all degenerates a little bit. I should not have been buying those those foals that I bought after season 2. I mean, the crop
prices, you couldn't argue with them though.
I know, but at a certain point, you think the price is good, so I was like, all right, I'll buy more. But honestly, I have so many horses I probably shouldn't have been buying, but you can't help yourself. The best thing to do for me sometimes is not to even look at the marketplace, because then I will not be tempted to buy anything.
Yeah.
But I've also been in, this is not a typical NFT project, obviously, but I've been in other ones. And the hardest thing, I've had these things, I'm all in and I just never sell. And then, once in a while they keep on going up, but most of the time there's going to be a downturn. And then you're really like kicking yourself if you don't take, some money off the table. So I feel good for a lot of the OGs that, really did put a lot of money into this and have been with it through the ups and the downs, that, you can, it's not really the case, but like, some people play poker and there's like scared money and they're playing with a bankroll that they don't really have it, and you don't play right when you're like that. So it's good for a lot of people that were kind of really pushing the limit in terms of how much money they should have in this game, to kind of get their nut back. They can breathe easier. And now maybe they sell some crown and they buy some more horses, and you just have a little fun and takes a little bit of the pressure off you. And now, we don't know. I mean, we're still early. So, there's like a wave of new people, but you don't know if the next wave is going to be there. I mean, obviously every horse I sold after season 1, after prop 1, I would buy back right now in a heartbeat. Right. So At the time I was like, oh, I'm happy to get some money, but it was peanuts compared to what it is now. I don't know what it's going to be like. If people ask me and I'm like, Sten sometimes feels like, he can know what the market's going to be, and like, well, you're selling this too high, you're selling this too low. And I'm like, I look at what the market is, and if I'm selling and I need to clear inventory, I kind of just sell. And, if it turns out that the market keeps on going up, then, so be it. And if it goes down, well, then I guess I made a good sale. But I don't really try to outthink the market. And when I do, sometimes they get lucky, like I did buying some of those fillies after the crop 2. But, when I sold them crop 1, no, I didn't make good deals then. So, it is what it is. I'm just hoping that the new people come in and have the same enthusiasm that, a lot of us have, and realize that a lot of people are just taking profits. We're not giving up. You're not seeing me selling my whole stable. You're going to have to pry like, she's the boss out of my cold, dead hands before I sell that one. So
yeah, that's I want to touch on that one because that one is very nice. Turned out, and that's, I believe she's one of, we bred this one, I believe. It's a Durban Poison and
Durban Poison. There's 2 S Plus RTF. There's that one, and then Wolof has Otani, who went there. But meanwhile, I've been smoked 2 races in a row by Ice Tag with his S minus. So an S minus just won twice in a row in sprints against not just my S plus, but I think the last race might be 2 S plus horses. So that's pretty amazing. Great job with that. Crypto Hog. So
the Indian Well took his A plus to that one.
Yeah, look at that breed. Wow, look at the speed on that.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So you don't necessarily have to have the best horse from the start, and so now you have an S minus that might be the best sprinter. Now, granted, it's a 2-year-old, so we don't know about aging, but this horse is a really good sprinter, and we'll see. I'm expecting that over time the S plus would end up overtaking that, as they mature, but you don't really know. We don't know how the aging curve is going to go at this point. So, everyone's just kind of learning, with this new crop.
The game started over again. That's the best part.
And the other thing
again, but like now we're playing for keeps. But now all the information that we gather from here forward is where we're playing for keeps now.
We don't know how it's going to play.
But getting the first crop of foals on the track is essentially that's when we're cooking now. So
but this is kind of a feeling out process right now. You're trying to figure out your distance preferences for your horse. You're trying to see if the aging curve plays into it. You're trying to make sense of the new schedule with the 2-year-olds. So there's just a lot of things where I kind of tread lightly the first week or so of every new season, just to kind of get a better feel for the schedule, get a better feel for which horses are racing in which classes, and that. So you just, some people just like to just say, hey, the hell with it. I'm just going to race it as quickly as I can, as many times as I can. Which, if I didn't have as many horses, that would probably make sense. But I usually take the first week, and it took me like a week to name all my horses, much less start entering into races. So
I guess that's one of the problems I know a couple other stables are having issues with, is figuring out names. But listen, I guess you don't really know what this horse is yet, do you? Because the mother was a sprinter, and then Durban Poison was a distance horse. You ran him at 12 and finished third and ran a 64. Not that we're putting a lot into the fleet figure, but that's a pretty solid number for stretching out. Pretty tough race, but
the mare, the brood mare, she was at least in live, she was just a 4 and 5 furlong specialist, so she could stretch out to probably 8 or 9 and be decent. I think we've talked about this because a lot of the tickets are similar, that you look at her ticket, right? She still has an S plus for stamina.
Yeah.
So it's not like she doesn't have stamina. Pretty much all the RTF horses do. So it's just a matter of how much, extra speed she has, or how much extra stamina some of the other RTF horses have. So I think she'll probably be able to be maybe a more effective middle distance horse than her mom, but we'll see. We don't know the aging
for her.
Say that again.
Yeah, have that on the docket. I mean, I guess 7 furlongs was middle distance. Only a 4-horse field though, but and sloppy. But I guess you're an S against A minus, A, and S. So technically, you should win that race. But do you plan to stretch her out anymore, like past 7? Maybe 8?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to race her. The way things are now, you look at the thing. You have 24 hours, right?
I'm at the wrong horse.
Yeah, you looking at the mom.
But even still, she's the boss. Like with Durban Poison being the distance runner, and she's the one being a sprint mid. Like, you think you can get her to 8, 9, maybe comfortably, and she puts up results?
I think she can. We'll see. The problem right now is more the schedule, and you kind of look. You can race, once a day. You got the 24 hours. So then I look and go, okay, what fits here? And sometimes I might look at the schedule. And let's say there's a race that fits at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
But then the next race that would fit for her might be at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And then I might wait. Well, maybe I don't want to run in the 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Maybe I want to run her at like 3 o'clock so I can really hit the race the next day. So you kind of have to plot out at least, 2 days ahead when you're mapping out which races. And then sometimes there's a stretch where, there's like all the RT races are either distance or all the RT races are on the soft, they're going to be soft or likely to be soft. So then I'm like, all right, what do I do? So, you're really just experimenting. I tried the 112 furlong. If a good mid race comes up, 8 furlongs or thereabouts, I'll do it. The other catch, even more particular with the S Plus, is there's a lot of races that are restricted that S Plus can't run in. It'll say, up to S. So I don't have the options that I would have with an S horse when I'm running the S Plus. I'm pretty much running in the open races. And there's a handful of restricted races that allow S Plus. So it's a very limited, it's a good problem to have. I'm not like bitching about it, but it does kind of limit the flexibility about when and where I can run the horse.
I can see that. Yeah, because like you're pretty much tied to all the graded races, and then up to S Plus stakes if they have them. But
yeah, they have a handful. And I'm not going to run in the races where I'm allowance, where I'm laying the pounds. I won't run an S Plus an allowance race like that.
I made a midnight splash right before we went live, and I'm not running this horse in allowance races. I don't care. I'm going to run him in stakes, the restricted stakes. He's placed in, I think, what was it, grade 3? A grade 2 going. And I'm trying to figure this out. Now, maybe you can help me figure this. I mean, maybe it's just the algorithm. Maybe it just hit. So I messed up and I entered a left turf soft with my right turf, firm.
Right.
And he ran a big race, ran second. I didn't realize it until after the race that it was completely, like 2 of the 3 preferences were off. Like I just didn't realize it.
And it came up as soft. And what was the difference?
Soft. But ended up running a good second, like not even bad after that. But I was talking to Ice Hog about it because this is one that he bred and he sold to me. Shout out to him. He hooked me up with a nice deal. I'm very much appreciative of that. But I was talking to him about it because I asked him. There's S- restricteds, but outside of that, like I'm not running in handicaps. I'm not running in allowances where I have to carry weight. But I would not carry weight if I enter the S-, S Plus allowances. I haven't tried those yet just because he's putting up results in the stake races. So I'm not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I was talking to Ice Hog about it. Like, do you think this horse has wheels in graded races? Because there was a grade 3 that was coming up that I wanted to try. And I know there's normally a few S's in there, but if I pull a field with S-, I feel like I'm right there. Like I could be right there. But after this result, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't be scared to try him in graded races going the right way. So, we're gonna try. I think we ran one today, but we came up with 2 S pluses and a bunch of S's. And I got stuck in the gate and spotted the field, so it didn't really count as a race.
Yeah.
Just trailed the whole time. So we're gonna try again on the 7th. There's one, but yeah, I like my little horse. I like seeing that it can run off preference, left when it's almost 2.5 stars at right. But some of the better horses, like you see Elvis's and Perlinos, and all of them do the same thing. I'm not saying that this horse is of that caliber. This horse is well bred. Maybe I'll get your opinion on it after this little clip here. But it's a Big A, and I forgot who the mare is, but Big A can run, to the dogs come home.
Big A with very good distance preference. I think that's the thing that I would take from this, other than the caveat that, variance and the fact of the aging that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
So you could just have, but I guess the thing that we learned most in live that was different than in the betas is really the distance preference, how important that is. So if you're running and you have, like, if this horse is a 12 furlong horse and that's its distance preference, you might have found his distance preference real early, and you'd try it some more times, but that could just be it. It's just he's really got a good distance preference, and you just happen to, even though you entered into the wrong race, you happen to dial into his distance preference right away.
He told me to run this horse 11-12. I ran it 9 the first time just because there wasn't a race and I feel like waiting. But as soon as I put it at 11, this is the first race at 11, and it was S- restricted, and it beat a field of very, very good horses.
Yeah, so he might just have.
Avatar picked up a big win today. Hazel Eyes is a good one. Alicia Jupiter, I don't think has gotten there, but 4 out of 6 on the podium. And then the JJ with his shitty S- Superman. But yeah, I've been very, very happy with this purchase so far. But yeah, let me check it out here. Yeah, so Touch of Gray, which from what I've heard y'all talk about is also a nice, a nice piece.
Yeah, I got my. I'm doing it on my laptop, so I got to lean forward to look at the stuff. It's too small. I didn't hook up to my big screen. So, so it's an S- that it came from. So this is not. Yeah. This is a strong S- then.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we will find out. I think we had talked about this. Maybe I talked about it on Stenz's thing. It's like when you the consensus is on average that if you have an S horse and it came from an S- and an S, that all things being equal will be stronger than an S horse that came from an S and say an A+, in that case. So on average, that's true, but you just don't know with an outlier breed. And the real interesting thing is when the horse that came from the A+ has higher preferences than the horse that came from the S-. And then the question is, what's the trade-off? Would you rather have, more stars and preference and maybe have slightly weaker underlying stats? Or would you rather have the stats and not the preference? Two schools of thought on that. We don't really know. We'll probably know a lot more when the next round of breeding starts, and we can kind of see, the underlying attributes on the horses and see what they look like in the breeding reports. I think everyone's really looking forward to getting these new breeding reports, not new breeding reports, but breeding reports on, the Gen 1 studs, and to see kind of what they look like. Or on the Gen 1 fillies, with either Gen 0 studs or Gen 1 studs. So that's something we didn't have in the betas. In the betas, we were kind of flying blind, if you will. We would guess on stuff, but we didn't really get a good sense as to outlier breeds and where, what things were going to look like. We would just, that might have been a huge edge to someone like Wolof and some of the HRM guys who probably knew the stuff inside and out. Now with the breeding reports, they probably still know more than we do. Well, not probably, they definitely know more than we do. But hopefully, we'll be able to kind of see things, and you see the reports, and you're like, oh, look at that, and you kind of learn from that. So I'm looking forward to it, but who knows? There's always something new. I like that.
Do you know how to? I have to run and use the restroom real quick, so I'm gonna leave you solo for about 3 minutes. Do you want to share your screen and go through your stable or something, or you just want to hang back?
No, I don't even know how to share my screen, but I can just talk if you want.
That's fine. Here, I'll pull your stable up. I'll get your stable up there. And obviously, while I'm gone, feel free. The 2% rule is off the table when I'm away from stream. So
we won't have any audience left when you get back. But
feel free to plug your stable anytime during the time that I'm gone. I'll put on your foals.
Yeah.
The oldest to youngest. I don't know what pops up, but
it's okay.
Shit, it didn't work. Oh, hold on. That's why I'm not on racing. I gotta figure out how this works still. It's almost like I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's off. I'll be right back. Work.
All right. Well, I guess I'm solo now. Yeah, I guess I'll touch on what I was talking about earlier with regards to just the changing nature of like the market, and it's always a weird thing when new people come in, and people have been kind of used to depressed prices, and then it goes up, and there's kind of this euphoria, and your natural inclination is almost like, well, I'm going to buy more, or this is great, we're going to the moon, and there's just an ebb and flow. You don't want to get too excited when things are going good, and you don't want to get too down when things are bad, and it's very difficult because we're all kind of emotional, and we kind of, your horse wins the big race and you're just getting all pumped, and this is the greatest game, and then as DoughBoy said, his horse kind of dwelt at the start, and it's just like that sucks. So you just kind of have to roll with the punches and just enjoy when it's good, and when it's bad, just kind of muddle through those periods. But yeah, I'm super excited. Well, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't 3 minutes.
Yeah, I set up for overestimation, I guess it would be. Would you rather I tell you be there at 7:30 and then I show up at 7:40? Or would you rather I tell you show up at 7:45 and I'm there waiting for you? I gotta give a little bit. Who's in the chat? I got more in the chat. Yeah, it is the Mr.B show. He's just renting the stream from now on.
Yeah. I keep on saying I want Zook back. I want Zook.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little. I haven't tweeted anything because he's a lunatic, and getting him to follow through on anything has been a challenge. But he did tell me that on the nights that he is free and I am streaming, he will come up.
All right. I don't know when you guys are great together. I loved watching you guys. So I hope he comes.
I miss my partner in crime. I do. I told him, I was like, yeah, it's been too long. We gotta get the band back together. So yeah, as long as now that he's like, I'll come up anything I'm making money on, I'll give some time to. I'm like, well, that's good. You're making money now, so show face a little bit. Let these people know. So hopefully I get him back, in the coming weeks for, even if it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's just nice to have him back around. He's been doing, what's he doing now? He does a Rangers podcast during the week, a hockey podcast. And I don't know if he's doing the pickleball anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. But he did tag me in a post that pickleball is now going to be eligible to be wagered on. So I told him if they ever allowed wagering on pickleball, that I would come and do a show with him. So maybe that's something that happens. But yeah, I did get a little hint that he might he would give me some time when he wasn't busy. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's always nice to have him around.
Yeah.
Doing solo streams is a pain in the ass, especially when you only have like 2 horses to run. I need to have in a couple months when I have 6, 7 horses to run, I can actually build a stream around it. That's going to be better. Until then, we do what we do, We're here.
All right. I'm going to go in a couple of minutes, but if you have anything you want to ask me.
Yeah, I was going to say, besides the S Plus, who do you think that your better breed is for crop 1?
The horse that I guess my best breed isn't even my breed. I had made a trade with Monkey Tennis, so I have an S- RTF with Davenport? 8.5 Davenport. Yeah. So that's an interesting breed. So it was an interesting trade. I had an RTS S horse. I bred an A+ with Walter White and came up with an S, and I traded that for this S- RTF. So I basically got a horse with an S- instead of an S, but I like the preferences. So this was kind of, now she hasn't done that much yet. I don't really worry about it because, she's more a building block for the future for my stable there. So
one-of-ones is nice.
Yeah, that was the key. Is I don't like. I mean, I have nothing against one-of-ones.
No, they're easier. They're easier to build with. I feel. You're not restricted when you get that high up. Like you have all the options on the table instead of like 2 options, depending how you go about it.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. So there's a trade-off once again. You get the better horse now, and it's not like an RTS horse isn't going to be a good breeding piece either. It's just it's almost like a patience. How much patience do you have? And I look at the 101 sometimes as like bullets, and you in the chamber, and you're like, all right, I want to save these. So if I can get as high as I can get, without using the 101s,
and then they're late.
That maybe is playing the long game, but who knows? Sometimes the 101s could jump so far ahead that I'm always going to be a step or 2 behind. I know in the betas, there was that log jam where we really couldn't hit the SS minus. So It wasn't that hard to get to S plus, but to get from S plus to SS minus, I think Wolof finally got there in season 15 or whatever season it was. So it might be easier with the breeding reports now. But what happened is a lot of the horses that started lower, that, the high match non-1-of-1s, were able to kind of start catching up as they kind of hit the 1-of-1s, kind of hit their ceiling at the top of the S plus range. That might change now, because it's like you said, it's for real money now. So people are kind of doing it, and they're doing it a little more scientifically, as opposed to just saying, all right, I'll try this and that. So anyway, I'm excited about that horse, but more for the future, just to see like how high up I can breed it and whether I can keep those preferences, and because I generally am more of the I'll just get the best horse, and I tend to focus more with the 1-of-1s. When I did my initial stable, I tended to have a fair number of the 1-of-1s because they were better racers, and they've been better breeders. But I like to try different things. So this is kind of my premier piece that's a non-1-of-1 that I will probably try to use as a key breeding piece going forward. But we'll see how it plays out. So
you have a lot of unraced 2-year-olds in your stable still.
Yeah. Like I said, I was away. I got back. I had to finish the breeding on that Monday. Then I'm trying to keep track of stuff. I'm trying to race my older horses because this is the last season I think I'm going to be able to get anything out of them.
Yeah.
And I'm then I didn't name the 2-year-olds. I finally finished naming them yesterday, and I'm starting to race a handful of them today. Other than my top couple, I just haven't had the time to really put the energy into racing them. That'll probably come in the next few days, or certainly by next week. But like I said, there's no real rush for me.
Yeah.
If I had just if I had 3 horses, or I took GVG up on his offer, and this is the first horse I can race, I'd be racing, every second. I would have had the horse named, and I would have raced as quickly as possible, because it's just, it's like a kid on Christmas morning opening a Christmas present. You get to race the horses. But, at a certain point, I have too many presents. And I want to kind of wrap up with the older horses, where right now, there's better money to be made racing the older horses because there's a smaller population. So, with the crown stimmies they're giving and all that, I'm better off putting my energies, putting my older horses in the right spots, than kind of just spraying around with the 2-year-olds. But if I didn't have the older horses, I would be all over them. So
you let me know, because DoughBoy got stimulated, so he can come out shopping for a little bit. So you let me know if you have any on the back burner that you're looking to offload, and maybe I'll take a look see.
I've been very aggressive selling this week. I probably sold I don't know, maybe 10 horses, just because people are buying. Like I said, I got to get some money off the table, and more importantly, I can't manage these many horses, so I'm kind of forced to sell, even if it kind of pains me sometimes to sell a horse. But if you have, I just have a lot of them. A lot of them are fairly similar, so I'm like, I don't know if I need that many. And like I said, it's going to grow exponentially if I don't put them in someone else's hands. So
we got to get like a. I don't want to, like, almost like, I don't know if you're familiar with Axie, like where you can have you're the owner stable and you set up trainer stables. And
oh yeah, they had scholars, right? I never did that, but I remember that during
obviously not on that cheap of a level, but I mean, when Axie was good, it was good, but goddamn, man, that got bad fast. But it'd be nice if there was like I don't want to say trainer mode, but like the ability to set up stables and let other trainers run your horse, and you're just the main owner. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Obviously, it's really early now. Maybe it's something that in the future, like, the bigger stables are going to have these problems getting horses ran, and every month you're just adding on, and soon it's going to be double. And soon, depending, it's going to be a lot. Like you said, even right now for you, right now it's a lot, but. Down the road, it's going to be worse. You're going to have more.
Yeah, I think I saw F Dog in the chat pop up. But like the interesting thing that I hope the team does, and it's not just for me, is like getting good administrative controls so that you can have sub people managing your stable. Okay, and I think that would go a long way. Even if you weren't going to have scholars or be able to rent your horses out, you could hire people. You're always worried, like, what are they going to do? They enter a horse in a claiming race. So you can have restrictions, but they still have the login. There's not like one. There's like one login to the account. So I'm really hoping that they come up with the proper procedures so that you can set up a stable and have different people managing different things, and I think that'll go a long way to helping people kind of get larger stables and not having to rely on like one or two people to manage them. I see a question: how long does it take me to enter my horses? It kind of depends. I look in the morning and I see the big races. I kind of get a feel for the card, and then sometimes throughout the day, I'll just look and see, oh, look at this. This race doesn't look like it's going to fill. I've got a good horse for this. I kind of know. That's another reason why I'm kind of doing the older horses, is I know the stable like the back of my hand. Yeah. So I kind of know, okay, this horse can run this distance. And I'll just see a spot. I'll look at the number of entrants in the field, and I'm like, all right, this is a good spot for him. So it's much easier for me to do it kind of on the fly. With the older horses, and I'll just look. Of course, I don't get anything else done for the rest of the day. I'm trying to do some work, and next thing you know, I'm spending my whole day on PFL just watching the races. Even if I'm not entering, I'll just start watching them. But I'm always watching, like, okay, how many entrants are here?
Yeah, we're scouting when we watch other races at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you see something and you're like, oh, I didn't even see this. You look at it, and I'll click and look at the breeding on this horse, and I'm like, so there was one today I saw, and I think I was like, oh, let me look at the breeding on this horse, and I was like, oh, there's an interesting one, and I'll do it. But when it comes to that, I think you'll get a feel for you. Once you get a feel for your horse, it's a lot easier to kind of enter, and you know what you're looking for. Right now with the 2-year-olds, you're just trying to figure out your horse, and you're trying to figure out the right spots that you can run them in. But it's actually harder to find the right spots for the 2-year-olds because you just don't know yet, unless you have like one of Eddie's horses who never loses. What's that, like Ken Pork Chop or whatever the name of that horse?
Con Pork Chop. Yeah, that horse is nice.
So
that horse is definitely nice.
So you get something like that, you don't really need to think that much. Just go, okay, which race am I going to win today?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, it finally lost. Oh, never mind. No, it didn't.
I think it lost once.
Yeah, it lost in second. Oh, it finished second in its second race, but yeah, 6 for 7 for 7 since.
Yeah. So, it couldn't have happened to a bigger fan of the game than Eddie. So I'm super excited that he's kicking ass. Eddie kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. So when things are going bad, particularly like, with the Gen Zero horses, he was like, I can't believe I'm not winning. And his stable is always built for Gen 1 and beyond. And as soon as Gen 1 happened, he's just destroying everybody. And it's only going to get worse, I think. Worse for the rest of us, better for him. So shout out to Eddie, just really crushing it. I'm super happy for him. Just like a real passionate fan of the game, and someone who came in and spent ridiculous coin, like, buying pieces. We talk about GVG coming in and buying it. Eddie was way before that. Just came in, got key pieces, asked questions. Monkey Tennis helped him out, and he just went like real heavy, and he's kind of stuck to it, and it's just paying off for him right now. So
kind of odd. I mean, maybe it's not kind of odd. Kind of odd we didn't get an S+ from Serenity Now, but that's gonna be a fucking horse, huh? S+.
I think there is one. There might be one from Serenity Now. I think, in fact, the horse that beat. Go look at the race he lost, and look at the winner of that race.
Snake Eyes. That was another S+.
Yeah, that's the Serenity Now one, I think. Right?
Jeez. All right, Mr.B cooking.
So.
Yeah, that's a nice little horse so far. Damn. Did they go back after this? Let's see. Snake Eyes, Snake Venom, Aqua Egg Eclipse. You told me about that one, but I would probably still go to Serenity Now.
They're probably trying to set it up with the different. That was a 99.23, and then what did he do? A 99.20.
They went to Baragoat.
Okay. So he's mixing it up. Look, these horses. I look. Obviously, I'm partial, and I love Serenity Now, but there's a lot of good 99.25s. So, I'm
gonna have to. I mean, it's like I said, I don't know if there's any coming up like that are still. There are no like LTSs still on the track, are there?
Yeah, there are.
Perlino, I mean, like.
Yeah, Soulmates is going to petition to run his horses like after 8 years old because he just loves to run. It's amazing. Talk about the passion of the game. He has Elvis, who won the first, Kentucky Derby, right? Doesn't retire it to breed. Says, I'm going to run it for 2 more seasons because I want to win another one. He runs it for 2 more seasons, and he's like, all right, I'm putting it out to stud. And then he's just like, fuck it. I'm going to keep on running. So, I mean, he just loves to run, and that's, he's not the only one. A lot of people just really they have a passion. And Perlino, one of the top LTS horses, same thing. He's just running them. He likes to run.
Yeah, that's the other option. Like I bred with Perlino in beta, and I really like the results. But I'm hoping that when Perlino retires, the stud B is reasonable, I guess. I don't know who owns that horse, and I don't know how they price their studs right now. That's something I wanted to look into.
Who are we talking about?
Perlino.
Well, that's Soulmates. So.
Oh, it is Soul? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his plan to price him at it.
Yeah, who knows? It's hard to get right now with LTS to get much more than the minimum. So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, like you said, there's very good horses at LTS. So you have Serenity Now, you've got Doopy Dupree, you've got Stenz's I always get which is Saturn maybe, or I always get them mixed up.
Jupiter or Saturn?
Yeah, one of those two. And then and yet it'll have Perlino. Those 4 horses are like almost identical in terms of the rarity to find fillies. There's probably differences in distance preference. So, and that's just the 99.25s. Then there's the 99.24s. And like we said, Baragos, we talk about like he's nothing, but look at the horse that Baragos came up with Eddie there. That's also a 99.25. Then Then JPEG Lord has a whole bunch. There's just it's a very deep, crop of 9925 and 9924
Sten's
LTS.
has the whole solar system in LTS.
Yeah, that's why I always get confused. I never remember which one's which. But the one who won a couple of is one who's like ranked 41 or ranked 40 Fine Philly, and he has there. That's out to stud, so it's retired. But I can never remember which name it is. No, that's a scuba one. Yeah. Anyway, he's got a whole, like you say, he's got a whole solar system.
One of these fucking planets. This guy.
No, that's the 9924 one. What rank number is that?
41.
Yeah, that's the one. Which one is this?
This is Saturn.
Okay, so that's his one. Now these all have. Saturn is the one who wasn't that great, but then won like 2 of the major races. So it's probably, I don't know. We were trying to figure out whether it's hard or whatever it was, but that doesn't have the greatest racing record. But like the 2 of the biggest races that they ran, that horse won.
That field was great too. There was some killers in there. Zach was in there. I don't know if it was on preference, but Zach, Zareth, Pluto's in there. Slow Gary, Ajax, Perlino, Mars, Opus One.
Slow Gary's still running. He's a good horse. Every time I still have an LTS horse, Hello Newman, a 9924, and I enter the races, and every time I enter a race and I see Slow Gary in it, I'm just like, oh. Today I almost beat him. I think I lost by like a head, but that's a very, very good horse. That's a DeStables one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that they have a very deep group of LTS horses. So sometimes they have so many. A week like this is just perfect for them because there's so many LTS races with the qualifiers, and people kind of enter horses, and they still are running like 4 top LTS horses, so they can just enter one in each race and just wiping up.
On that note, I know you want to get out of here.
Yeah, and you got to start your gambling part of your stream anyway.
I do what I want whenever I want, Mr. B, I'm not gonna hold him to his word, but he did tell me behind the scenes maybe we'll have a little giveaway before the next breeding season starts.
Yep.
Mr. B has offered up a Serenity Now breed. You breed, he reimburses you the 50. You pay the tax, I assume. Yeah, you know what? You pay the tax. You gotta be responsible for something here.
Nah, you know what? I'll pay the tax on that one too. So
good guy,
totally
Mr.
free.
B.
But no, you know what? Stens will pay the tax. That's it. I'll pay the 50.
Tax.
Good guy Stens will pay the tax.
But yeah, before the next breeding season opens, we will do a stream, and we will, whoever's in, I'm not going to do anything special. I could do like maybe retweet something, but maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I'd rather do it if you're here. If you're in chat at the time, you'll get put on a wheel or in a duck. You'll get put in a duck race rather. We ain't doing no wheels. We'll do the duck race. And then the winner of the duck race, you get a Serenity Now breed from Mr. B. Works out great if you have an LTS or an LTF in your stable. If you don't, well, you gotta try things, Sometimes you gotta try things.
Well, you know what? If they have an RTF, they can choose. I can give them a Born to Run cover if they wanted one of those.
I was gonna say, maybe, I don't know if you have an RTF. If you have something on the other side, that would work out. Let me see. So yeah, Serenity Now, most people know. Born to Run. Yeah, Born to Run, also no slouch. Very fine horse. So yeah.
So if they don't have an LTS, they can go with it.
If you're in the LTS or in the RTF gang, Mr. B is graciously putting up a breed for Serenity Now. And if you don't have anything that qualifies, then you defer to Born to Run.
Yep.
No dealer's choice on this one. You decide after the fact. And I will look at your stable too, but don't try and get one over on me. But yeah, Mr. Good Guy, Mr. B, Mr. Great B. Can't ask for more. Thanks for coming up tonight. Appreciate it.
All right.
And thanks for being so generous.
All right. Have a great rest of the show.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, chat. Those races close in 2 minutes. I'm gonna turn my AC on for a minute and get it nice and cool in here. Bear with the noise. If it's too loud, let me know. I gotta cool down. Woo! Mr. B. Solid Mr. B coming through. Overall, great guy, Mr. B. So yeah, when is the next breeding window open? It closed today. I guess we'll open up in 3 weeks. But yeah, when it opens up, probably the day before it opens up, because Serenity now sells out pretty quick after Mr. B gets his breeds done. So I'll probably do the stream a few days before, and yeah, we'll raffle it off to a lucky viewer in chat that day, and you'll get hooked up with a pretty solid stallion breed. Already, basically free at $50, and I'll plug the horse because this horse has been good to me. So I'll always talk good about Serenity now. Like I said, until another LTS comes off the field that's slightly similar. Like I said, I really want to hit Perlino. I'm hoping that Perlino is reasonably priced. But if he's not, I'm just gonna come back to Serenity now. We did. I talked about it at the top of the hour when Mr. B came on. We did sell Serenity Now full. Sold Rooney an 8 of 9 pref for $450,000. So we put Serenity Now on the map. Is what we're getting at here. Now it's time to get the payoff. Shout out to 360 Win for coming through with the buy. Appreciate that. Allows me to make some moves. Allows the stable to make some more moves. Overall, great deal. Great deal for everyone all around. Let's see what's going on. Chat, let me catch up with chat. Mo's here, Bad Crockett. What's up, F Dogs? Everyone, thank you for hanging out tonight. We're just getting in it. 10 o'clock. All right, let's go check these races out. Go take a look, see, and see what kind of fields we have. All right, pick windows open. Someone already dropped 1K on this one, so let's open up DGen After Dark Race 1. This is Juvenile Handicap. We'll take a look. Lacey's in here. Sten's in here. I don't know. Kamakura, Breaking Bad, Blue Exotics, so through C, B+. Gruesome, an A+. Normally, when I mess with handicaps, I tend to look at the A- and the B+ and or Bs, and tend to fade A+ unless they're like pretty strong. The extra weight does affect, and overall, I definitely avoid S-. Though I did see one S- carry 11 pounds and win a handicap a couple days ago, which was pretty impressive. You don't really see that often. And honestly, it might have been Dragonfly. So we'll take a look at that, actually. It wasn't. All right. It wasn't Dragonfly. Ooh, me. This is strategy. Another S-. All right. So that race, we'll throw over there. Did the claiming races fill? The claiming races did fill, both of them. All right. So the 125 and the 150K both filled. Let's go. Take a look in here. Damn. You have a nice A+. Or you have an S- still on the track. These are the races you can farm easy. Not even farm, just catch a nice field. Even with an A+. Oh, my old horse. Look at that. I claimed this horse for 15K. Thinking that I knew what I was doing. Didn't have enough total boost to compete in handicaps or allowances. Got him back into claiming, got a couple seconds, a third, and then when we'll call it the gold rush came, when everyone was just claiming whatever they wanted, someone blessed me graciously and claimed this horse for 20K, putting me back in the game. So shout out to Ocean View. But they're in here. I think the crown gift on this is kind of nice. Yeah, that's a nice crown gift. then 150K, we have a 5-horse field, also another nice crown gift. Field of A pluses and A minuses. Ocean view in here again. Common star, Sao Union. Alright. So, and then I guess we still have 15 minutes until this one fills. And this one's gonna fire too. Alright. Oh no. Yeah, I guess it will. The other DJ After Dark race. It's going to be a light field. It is what it is. We'll get this we'll get these races pumped up one of these days. I think we just need more social media pushes. A couple retweets, a couple tweets, a couple flags in Discord could really go a long way. Maybe, I don't know. Who's in charge of social media over there? Fibs does everything. That's what I'm getting at. Gets 2 hours of sleep and he's up. I have to talk to him. Oh damn. Oh yeah. All right. Let me see. Might get Mo up here. Mo, if you're around, I might send you the link to get you up here. Chip chop. I need to try and enter our S cult. We ran terrible today. Did not run good today. I take that back. He did run good. That was a great one. And that was a tough field. Holiday Bill's just overall great horse. Good S plus. Big Bear don't really know much about, but got the best of us today. Absurd, Swift Biscuit. We'll get there one of these races. King's Royalty is another good one. GBG, shout out. Need for Speed, not so bueno, but alright, so we have 15 hours plus 4 is 19, so we'll look for 20 hours out. I need to reload. Tisk. Alright, so 20 juvenile. Alright, so we're looking here. Might have to swap some crown. 6 furlongs, that'll be an option. So we're likely heading to the 6 furlongs. Alright. Just gotta swap crown. Alright, no biggie. I got a couple days to figure that out. You did. That is correct. I don't know. I feel like we have to get our social media guy. Yeah, potentially, maybe we need a social media person to stay on top of that. So everyone go to Discord and yell at them. Or don't yell at them, but tag them and let them know that they're lacking on the social media presence for promoting these races. Because I'm gonna put it this way: I know that on Thursday nights, my man Mo gets full fields. DoughBoy only gets 1 full field, but he gets 4 races tonight, so we'll take that. So I'm not saying there's favorites. Man, I'll have to ask Mo when he gets up here. Maybe they're playing favorites. Oh, Fib woke up. Where's he at? Get in chat, Fib, so I can give you some shit. That's crazy. He had to be in here. I gotta check. He was listening. As soon as you start ranting and you start talking, third time Paul's in here. Paul sent him the word and said, "Yo, you better add everyone for this. There's gonna be hell to pay." Shout out Paul. Thanks for being here. I see that. I like it. Oh, jeez. All right. So let me get MJ's information up here, and we'll start taking a look at this race. Hopefully it's up. I don't know. I haven't used it since the 2-year-olds went live, and now I feel like there's just about a week's worth of races on these horses that maybe we can get some info. I know it was hard to do the first few days just because everyone had 1 race, 2 races, but at this point, I feel like most horses have about 6 races on them. So we'll go to DGen After Dark Race 1, do a little copy-paste action. Go over here. I said clear list. Thank you nicely. And we'll do a little print. We are at 12 furlongs, left turf soft. All right. So I like to go right to the point and eliminate the fat. All right. So 6 horses have results at 12 furlongs. We soft? I believe we are soft. We are soft. So we'll eliminate firm. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Please. All right, LTS. Okay. Event type, let's go to handicap. All right, only 2 in handicaps. Only 2 horses out of here run a handicap, so this is going to be a nice one to try and pick from. I don't know how good it's going to go, but it's an A+ and an S-. So, Oceanic Jiving. Oceanic Jiving. Okay, the odds on favorite so far. Someone knows something. I have a 4th in a handicap, a 2nd in an allowance, carrying 2 pounds, and a win in the handicap. Is this last week? Carrying 10 pounds, going 10 furlongs. Interesting. So 10 pounds didn't really hurt it in the normal. This might have been last week also. Maybe that's just the play. Maybe they know something. Who was the S- tied up? All right, 2 handicap races. Yeah, see, we got a 3rd and an 8th, both carrying 10 pounds. So it's tough. Carrying 10 pounds going long is a big game. I came off that and won a restricted race, which is nice. 5th in a restricted, but we shortened them up. Why'd you shorten them up? Doesn't make any sense. Then you go back to allowance, and then they keep this horse in restricted races. What's going on? Restricted stakes. That's a nice little runner. So maybe tie it up for show. Maybe we can hit the board at S+ hard. Oh, it's a Serenity Now horse. Okay, let's go. And, talk it up a little bit. Maybe 3rd. Maybe. The distance has me no problem. Serenity Now made its mark at 12 furlongs. What the mother? Oh, this is a Mr.B horse. He bred this one. How much did he sell it for? Just under 60. All right. That's nice. S- filly. Probably a little cheap at the time. It was before the rush, but regardless, yeah. So maybe Tied Up is up there. And Oceanic Jiving. Both horses go against my strategy for handicaps, but honestly, both strong candidates. And Oceanic has already shown that it can win with 10 pounds. So that doesn't really scare me. And the numbers that I put up, the fleet figures, again, I'm not going to put a ton of weight into them, but a 70 carrying 9 pounds going 12 furlongs and he ran 4th. That's kind of nice to see what the winner picked up in that race. Very good. Is that also against older horses too? ran a 65. So Oceanic View ran 4th, ran a 70, had a higher number than Arrogant, who won the 65. So this is a 2-year-old against older horses also. And today's a juvenile. Ooh. All right. You might be on to something. A little ski, boom, boom. Oh, shit, there's people. What up next? Welcome. Very sneaky. I got you, Mo. Let me get going here. Welcome, everyone. We're just getting, first hour of the show, I have Mr.B on. Second hour, third hour, I'm going to have Mo come up here in a little bit. We're going to look at these races. 11 o'clock, the races should be ready to fire, and it's going to be the Mo show every 15 minutes, I believe. Every 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Ooh, Fib's messaging me. I'm in trouble. Let's go. What'd you say, Fib? All races reduced besides race 2, which one picks open. Okay. Wonderful. I hope you had a swell nap. Assuming that's what you were doing. All right. Mo sent you the link. All right. So, yeah, for the first race, let me hit Control Plus on here because it looks a little shoddy. Yeah, for the first race, I think we might. I don't want to put win bets on, so I make it chicken shit and just put show bets. Because again, I don't like playing A pluses and S minuses and handicap. But these are all 2-year-olds now, and Oceanic View ran against older horses the last time out. I don't know if it was the time before that either, but running 4th, carrying 10 pounds or carrying 9 pounds against older horses is kind of strong. I don't mind it. But we'll take a look and see. Actually, I want to see who else is in this race in addition. And we'll back off. And we'll go down to 10 furlongs and see if anyone else shows up. Let's do that real quick and see what we get. All right, so we get a handful of other. And at the top, we have Oceanic Jiving. We have an A pop-up, Wicked Witch. Tied Up. Okay, Tied Up has results there. Aqua Royal Patch has a 3rd. That's an A+. So let's take a look at that one as well. Here we are. Not off to a bad start. 5 starts, a win, 3 seconds, and a 3rd. Let's see where they come from. 3rd in allowance, carrying 2 pounds. 2nd, carrying 3 pounds. 2nd in restricted stakes. 2nd in restricted stakes. Winning a restricted stakes. This is a nice little horse. Aqua Egg Clips. Another nice LTS. Royal Patch. So they sold this one. Let's see what it sold for. 36, 3, 8, 16, 24. So like 450-ish. 425. And they kept it. All right, so that's not bad, honestly. Off to a good start. It's a filly, too. That's a filly that could, potentially hit Serenity now. Your money's worth tonight talking about Serenity now. That's going to be nice. All right, Mo's in the back. Before we get him up here, take a little yawn. Whoa, what's up, homie?
What up, brother?
How you been?
Chillin', man, about yourself.
Yeah? How's the first week of racing going for the stable?
Yeah, my Gen 1's not doing too hot.
Nah. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's showing the weakness of my early horses. But we have made some moves in the barn, so I'm actually looking forward to probably some more of the stuff coming up here in the next month or so.
You've made some sales and you've made some purchases. You made a purchase for yourself, I think.
Yes, that was for me. That was not a syndicate purchase.
Was that Foal of Eden, or was that another?
Yeah, that was the Foal of Eden. Yeah.
I'll take a look at that one. So that's big game for you,
I for me, yeah, I can't afford to run it, but
how you started out, you played small ball to get in, and then ooh, big A. Love to see that. Love to see that. Right,
yeah, I mean, connections on it are solid. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be able to race it. I feel like I'm probably doing a lot of my horses disservices that should be running probably higher stakes races. Just probably I'm too cheap to fucking run them, and that's a me problem more than a horse problem. But again, I gotta figure out some of my syndicate shit because yeah, my racing fees right now are about to get a little crazy. So I don't know if these guys really want to take that ride with me. So I'll be shutting down most of my horses. I'm gonna kind of pivot things a little bit, but
yeah, and that's one thing I talked with Mr. B. Mr. B still hasn't even cracked into his yet, and it's only going to get worse in a few weeks when you have the same. So you're going to have double that amount of horses to run. So it's a lot to figure out. It's definitely a lot. It's a lot of horses to manage, a lot of stuff to take care of. But it's gonna. I don't know if we see more, and maybe not with your stable, but like maybe with your stable. I don't know. I don't speak to you, but like. Maybe we see a lot of more bigger stables letting some horses go. Basically, the ones that they're not going to focus much on this one. Let's just try and get a little bit of a recoup out from the sale and see if someone else can do something with it and go back to the drawing board for the next one. But
well, yeah, because Mr. B was talking about it, right? Like he has so many horses that are similar in stats and probably running style too. That for him, he probably just wound up running against himself at the time, right? So like, yeah, if he can unload some horses, make some money back and some of his initial investment back, which, as someone like me, I was like, well, I should probably be doing the same. I mean, what the hell am I going to do with, all the horses I even had this month, right? So, yeah, I figured, unload a few, help out some people, I actually got pretty hosed, man. I did somebody a solid, and I regretted it, because they wound up taking that filly and flipping it for double the price, and I was like, ooh, if I would have known you would do that to me, I might not have given you that new player entry fee and been like, I'll be a nice guy, because you kind of just made me look like a dumbass, you know what I mean? So
that's you and Stens will find common ground on those situations, and unfortunately, like that in the other game, like that was the main thing with that game was building relationships and building trust, like because breeding, when breeding mattered in that game, bloodlines mattered. It was worth having the relationships with these stables who had this. Because then that means you had access to it. But it all came with trust. I'm not going to sell you something and then you turn, whatever you do with the horse after that is whatever, it's yours. I don't have anything to do with it. But if I cut you a deal and you turn around and flip it, I'm probably not going to deal with you again. You know what I mean? Again, and that's just my that's my view on it. If I do you a solid, again, you can do whatever you want to it with the horse after I sell it to you. But if you immediately turn around and flip it, then you'll have to look elsewhere. I'll not do favors, and I'll just get max value out of my sales from here on out, and that's how it'll be. But yeah, that's that. Stens went through something like that, and you see it. You definitely see it, and it's just it's a little thing I mark on my notepad. I keep track of the names, and I don't let it happen ever again. So mental
notes for sure. But like I said, you know what? I mean, it was a syndicate horse. My buddy wanted to, he's like, oh, we should probably sell it. We got another matching filly. And I was looking at it like, all right, I'll just let them run the first one. I got the better version. And I'll just get all the stats and all the data I need for when I run mine, come next month. So that was my initial thought. But I was like, ooh, we just left a lot of money on the table. So that kind of stung. But again, live and you learn. I see you have this steps revenge up here. That we get moderator horse, man. Let me tell you something. I know you guys are talking about these higher pieces, and I understand he's not on the same level. But man, this horse is, first of all, he's got no siblings. Anybody can tap him. And man, his little babies are running, man. They're runners.
Glitch is a nice, I saw. They're yellow, and that's good. Honestly, that's really good.
Yeah, he's my pride and joy. We can, yeah.
Definitely got some nice ones. Glitch is 3 for 2, max pref. Stakes winner, handicap winner. Yeah, that's nice. And that was an A- and an A got you an A-. So that horse this horse didn't even get boosted.
Well, that's RVAs. Yeah, that's RVAs. If you actually look at in my barn, there's a horse McFly who's Steps Kiss with Weekend Moderator, and that actually gave me 2 A's, gave me an A+. Now, probably going to be a lower end A+, but, yeah, it should be third one down, yeah. That horse is going to be interesting, because that's got the Weekend Moderator blood, and that Steps Kiss blood. So I'm curious to see how that runs. Because I agree with what you guys were saying. Like, it's probably a weaker end of the A+.
Yeah.
But man, I'm really looking forward to watching that horse run. Like, that is probably the first horse in the barn I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, so 2 of them are stakes winners so far, which is nice. Stakes place, yeah. So Weekend Moderator is not, so far so good on the breeding front.
Right, and that's what we want to see, right? Because I misran all my horses. I was the guy who was like, I'm streaming, with the 4 horse races, right? I just want to watch the horses run, have content, but I'm like, oh shit, now Weekend Moderator's got only 3 wins. When maybe the guy probably should have had a really high win rate, you know what I mean? But knowing that I misraced him,
Be like that.
But, if people see the progeny and they're like, oh, well, okay, Mo's an idiot, we all know that. The horses, or the babies are running good, though, so I already have people hitting me up being like, hey, I can't wait to come, to Weekend Moderator next month. And I'm like, cool, like, let's go,
Nice.
Same with Joker. Joker's lucky because he's an A horse with a S- speed. So a lot of people have been coming to him. I haven't seen any of his babies run yet. Next month will be the first. But this is the other guy that, even when I raced Joker himself, I mean, he's a badass running horse, man. I love that horse.
All right,
nah,
so
I have a few.
This one's kind of nice. A and A- got him an A+.
Oh, that no joke horse. Yeah. I'm real curious to see what happens. He's got the first filly with the Joker blood too, so that's gonna be nice.
So that's 2 seasons away. Anything yet? No. Next season, Joker's Revenge and Why So Serious. So Why So Serious, Joker's Revenge.
Yeah, Joker's Revenge is mine. Runty's mine, and everybody else is. I think Joker actually had like 5 hits this breeding season alone, so or 4. So we should, have a couple more runners out there.
All right, you got a little B+. Got a little stepping stones. Got a little filly out of it, so that's not bad. All right. Well, that's good. How's the? I don't know if I should ask or not. How's Cramden going?
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted to look at that for me, man. I am struggling now. I don't know if this is a late peaker thing. I don't know if this is, I mean, dude, I've gotten screwed, too. I know he's a fucking soft horse. It's been yielding in the first couple of races. Now, I know Paige had no racing history, didn't know what to go by there. This might have been a really just iffy purchase for me, but...
Listen, live and you learn.
I mean, I can always breed it in-house. So, I mean, if I breed it in-house, it's fine, right? But if I try to put that thing up on the breeding market with that record, and no one's going to use that as a stepping stone, right? So that's just going to be probably a lost cause. Unless it's a late peak, and we start to see him run. I'm probably going to start running these horses like once a week until they start to hit their stride. If I know that they're not running well, it's kind of where I'm at, because... I can't afford.
Gotta imagine that a lot at the end of the season. Maybe not everyone will, but there's gonna be a handful of fillies that come off the field. That'll loosen up some races here and there, but maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. Damn, yeah, that sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is.
But I mean, yielding good. Sloppy yielding, right? I mean. The one track I put him on a sloppy, I ran him at 8, right? And I think this horse wants to go 10 to 12, if I'm not mistaken. But I just can't catch a sloppy track at 10 to 12. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I put him in that stakes race, and you know me, how cheap I am, man. Look, I mean, that racing entry fee to me was like, oh man, I got my ass kicked too, And it was just kind of like, yep. So, and it was 8, right?
It's tough. I mean, like the only other. I mean, I don't remember what your initial pay on it was, but maybe
like 275. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was before the big bump in prices, so it's not like I overpaid.
What about the mid? I don't know, because like I don't know. So A+ speed, A+ stamina, A+ finish, stamina, and like it has the lookings of going long. But I just looked at a couple of Mr.B's horses who was sprinting, but they were bred to go. Like, the stallion was a distance runner, but the mother was like a sprint mid. But the horse has results as sprinting, and when he ran at 12 furlongs, it has a second. So, like, I don't know if there's any wiggle room in between at, like, maybe 7 or 8. Or maybe.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I think I shot for 8 on that allowance race where he took a 4th. Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, all right, well, Page doesn't have the higher end of the stamina. So, yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, right? Maybe that pulls it back down to, like, even a 7 to 10, type range. But it's tough, man. I don't know how you feel about the schedule right now. I felt like it was pretty good, and now it's kind of like, ooh, I'm waiting 5 days. You were talking about it a little bit earlier. I was waiting 5 days now to find a race that's even reasonable for me, and I'm like, I don't like that, man. Like, that's.
I got scolded. I got scolded for my comments about the schedule. I think, like, a couple weeks ago we had how many claiming races firing left and right. Now there's like no claiming races for like older horses. It's a lot of like there's a lot of 5,000 claimers for 2-year-olds, but no one's gonna run their horse in a 5,000 claimer yet.
Oh, hell no.
So like that race is just gonna sit and it's gonna get canceled. I feel like there's been less claiming races for older horses in like the 10, 15, 20K range. And I mean, almost like the restricted states are like almost non-existent. Like I got in one today, but like that's the first one in 5 days for an A-, and A-s were popping off like crazy. Again, I don't run as many horses as the rest. Like I have my 2 that I enter, an S- 2-year-old, which is pretty easy to enter. It's either going into S- stakes or a graded stake, or a grade 3
right.
stake or grade 2. And then I have my older horse still running. And I guess I'll run allowances and handicaps if I have to, but like other than that, it's been tough. But again, I only run 3 horses right now. But even looking through, they're in I have RDS and RTF, but I've been running alt preference just to like get a race in my older horse. Like I'll run the LTF if I have to. I don't want to, but if I have to, I have to. It's either that or wait 2 days to run, and I don't want to do that because I want to get max value out of this thing while this is the last season to run it. So,
right, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Listen, it's. I said with Mr.B, it's like this is technically the second go around of the game. Like when we started with Gen Zeros, that was like the start. But as soon as their foals hit the track for the first time, that's when we really start. So. Maybe we get some adjustments from here on out. Like the next crop of foals and crop 2 hits, we're going to be in the same situation. So maybe the mistakes with the 2-year-old schedule now get corrected when the next crop hits, and then they can focus on the 3-year-old races. And then that's that. In hindsight, that's what I feel like would happen. But
no, I agree. No, I agree with you. And I think with the automated system that they have, and I think Fib told me, or Fib said it was on the stream on Thursday, I think it wasn't in place yet. A lot of it's manual, but with the whole thing of like identifying how many horses in the archetype are running at the time and then trying to build the schedule based on that, I don't think that's actually up and running right now. Because again, that's going to help a lot too. I feel like my left dirt soft, shake 'em up. I just couldn't find a race, and I was like, well, there's no speed in left turf soft, so I'm gonna go throw him in a sprint over there, and he won the freaking race. Like it wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, all right, yeah, exactly.
Kind of like the first person to get speed in the LTS.
I got a plan.
The first stallion that I guess that pops off is going pretty good. That's gonna be good for the breeding barn, good for the owner. Because there's no speed at LTS. It's always a topic behind the scenes of like how are we going to get it there? Who's going to be the first one to get it there? But we'll find out when we find out. So that's the best part about it.
The theory crafting is always going to be my favorite part. I'm actually like, I don't even care if I race half the time. I just want to do my spreadsheets, and that's why I'm pulling in more syndicates now. I'm like, I got a new buddy of mine that I've been doing shows with, and I was like, hey man, let's just do a skin and bone syndicate. You saw that, right? Like. Yep. I'm just going to fractionalize 10%. We got a bunch of people that want to jump in. Now, again, this isn't for high-class horses. You know what I'm saying? This isn't for people that want to make money. This is for people that don't understand what the hell is going on when they watch photo finish, but they are interested. So for $25, they come in, they get 10% ownership of a horse, they get a month of racing involved, included in that. We're not gonna hit them up for fees, and then at the end of the month, if the horse is decent, we could talk about, okay, well, let's continue to race them, as a 3-year-old, or okay, you got your $25 worth. Are you just kind of interested? Now do you want to make your own account and maybe get your own horse that you can now control, right? But early on, people don't know how to enter races. People don't know how to buy horses. People don't know a lot of this. So, I feel like for $25, it's a chance for people to come in and just kind of, maybe almost like a training course type of deal. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like the idea, right? But if it's a good horse, maybe we happen to get a good horse. And hey, we wind up running them for 6 seasons, or hey, maybe it winds up being a good stepping stone for people that's an A or an A+ to go up and breed. Maybe they get some breeding money down the road, right? We don't know. But it's not for people to come in and be like, ooh, I'm going to get a championship caliber horse, because obviously, A, I don't own any championship caliber horses, and B, that's not really what I do.
We're still very early, so don't sell yourself short,
Yet, correct.
We're learning from these mistakes, That's how we advance. Gotta learn from mistakes.
Well, thankfully, I feel like my mistakes haven't been costly. Because that's what I was afraid of the most in photo finish, was just getting my ass kicked and costing me a lot of money. But
well, that's one of the things with gambling is bankroll management, and you have to have bankroll management and bankroll discipline, or else it's gonna be not very fun for your bank account. I'll tell you that. So those that have it and practice it well, they have an advantage when they come into situations like this.
And I think a lot of those people, watch the shows and they want people like us to stream the content and stream the races. So it's like, hey, well, if you want that to happen, what's the going announcer discount, right? Like, what can you help me out with that's going to get me involved more to do more racing and showcase this game in front of more people, right? And most people have been very, receptive to that. I know I bust Stender's balls, because I hit him up and I was like, hey man, when I hit him up for that fall of my S Philly, I was like, so what's the any wiggle room there on an announcer discount? He's like, brother, look at the prices, it's pretty fair. And I'm like, no, I agree, it's a very fair price, but I'm still gonna ask you, Sense, what's the announcer discount? And he was like, nah, well,
there are no special rebates.
Right.
Sometimes yes, but sometimes also no.
Well, and I said you got to respect it, right? When you hit that level, and I looked at the price, and I was like, man, this is already like really cheap considering what everybody else had up. Because this was already when horses started rolling in prices, right? This isn't, this isn't a month ago where it was like, horses were kind of stagnant. I get it. So I was kind of just busting his balls, and the more I talked to Stens, the more I love the guy. He's someone who I didn't really talk to early on. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like when you guys started doing your shows and kind of interacting more. So
and that's the thing too. I feel like because again, you've been doing the streams for since the betas and whatnot. I had we had Ian up right after the Marvelous Mares and the Stylish Studs minted to discuss.
That was before my time. Yep.
That's what I mean. Like there was no game at the time when we had him up to talk about it, and we didn't. There wasn't a lot of interest, but the people that were interested back then, well, they're here now. So we did our part. And a few months, right when the first beta opened up, we had him back on. We were getting along, and he was telling us what was going on and this and that. But it's there's not a lot of us out there doing content for the game right now, and when we are doing it, you kind of have to keep in mind, and I do it sometimes too, as beginner. Like a lot of my streams when I have like Stens in them on, those aren't the little man streams, you know what I mean? So I told them behind the scenes, I'm like, it's really hard for like a little stable to listen to you guys talk about the high caliber. I was like, I need to get people on that are in the A to S- range, or I need y'all to focus on your A pluses and your A breeds that you did instead of your S minuses and your S's. You got to be more relatable. What I try to get to, because not everyone comes in and can get an S- right off the bat. Like they gotta mess around with the A's and A pluses, and most of you very rarely see any A's on the field from Absolute Horsepower Racing. You see a lot from RVA, Mr.B. He definitely has a lot parked right now, but you'll see more of him out. The bigger stables, and then the A pluses that they do have, pretty good quality, So I feel like we have to have more. And MJ does a really good job with his, across the board. He starts from scratch. I think he's doing it for this again. He did it for a few other games, from 0 to hero, where he's going to start with one horse, and then, he's going to do that, and that's good for starter, stables. I have my S minus. I always plan on getting it, but like I have the big stables on to get the big knowledge, and then the small knowledge I pretty much learn on my own. But it's nice to have the mix of top and bottom. I like having the bigger stables on to stream, and I like having the smaller stables in the chat asking, the beginner questions or the how-to questions as well, because it gets good. And I know Stens did a stream the other day that's recorded on YouTube.
Dude, his stream is so good with those, man.
But it's mainly focused on S minus talk and S talk, and he's like, yeah, I guess you have to talk about lower levels. I'm like, yeah, at some point, if you want to be relatable to the smaller stables and see from their level, yeah, you gotta dabble in there,
We started out at PFL 101 with Stens the other night, and I think within like the hour we were at like PFL 1101. Like, but you can't. It's so hard. Like you said, you can't help it because you start getting into it, and like as much as he knows, he's like, all right, if you really want to start looking at it, you start doing this, and you can start like looking at that. He's like, all right, hold on a second, we're at PFL 701 now. Let's just dial it back. Let's go back to 101. But it's just funny because it's so easy, like I said, to get caught up. Like I said, even for me, like. I mean, I was there. I was A minuses only early on. My boy named Sue's a freaking B horse, and I was like, here I am, man of the people, And now I'm like, well, shit.
Seasons. I think we're auto retired at the end of next season, correct?
For Bad Crockett, 7. Yeah, they race. So they auto retire at 9.
Yeah, 2 more seasons at Gen 0. And he acknowledges that, and that's good. But
his information is so good, man. Like those, I call them seminars. I'm always like, I'm gonna take notes for the test. Then, like, dude, it's just so good, man.
I like having that, and that's I liked having them early. I wish I would have had them recorded earlier when we did them before like the first season of breeding, because there was so much fucking alpha, from those streams, and they didn't save on Twitch, and I hooked my YouTube up too late. But even the first couple of ones that I have up on YouTube, like there's still a lot of breeding alpha in there from like the bigger stables. But yeah, it's sit back and take notes when streams like that happen for smaller stables and ask questions. That's one of the main reasons why I do the roundtables and Stens is now doing. Ask questions, chat. Just don't ever be you're never wrong for asking a question. Knowledge reigns supreme. You gotta
knowledge is power.
You never. There's enough space in here that you can cram more knowledge in there. There's always room for more, but definitely always don't. I got some lurkers in my chat. I always do. Everyone has them. I'm sure you have lurkers that come out every once in a while, just to say hi. But if you're lurking, you got questions, we'll get them answered some way or another. If I can't answer it, I'll get someone to answer. With MoStream, if he can't answer it, take it to Discord. Someone in Discord will get there. There's always people to help. And I touched on that last week when I had GVG up. Like, there's just so many people in the community that helped. Like whether it's horse evaluation, breed talk, race, selection strategy. Like there's always someone out there to help. It's just you gotta speak up. That's all it is. You gotta speak up.
Well, the problem is they don't really know the questions to ask. And actually, Clover's is a really good story, because I always talk about how no one's ever come in on YouTube when I streamed over there for months with my other guy, and it's like on Kick, I'm surprised at how many new players have actually come in. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess the degenerate gambling platform of Kick, But yeah, Clover's is a perfect example, and I'd love to see stories like Clover's, man. That's awesome. Good to see you, by the way, Clover.
I think, shout out Clover. I think Clover bought one of the foals out of our stable earlier today. I'm sorry about the name. I didn't name it Tomlin. My friend named it Tomlin because he's a shitty Steelers fan, and everything has to be named Steelers. So we sold the LTS S we sold was named Bruni for obvious reasons, And then the next S that was born, I just named Franco because I'm not going to let him fuck up the naming. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just looking for the one word names in shitty Steelers history that are like prominent and there. So he came in and named the fucker Tomlin. It was the Philly, so that makes sense. But yeah, we had and then I took the liberty of naming our A+ AstroTurf, which is still football related, but
I love that name actually. That's good.
And naming them what they were. But yeah, he came in. I think he bought a little A office, A Philly. So shout out to you. Good luck with that. Yeah, just gotta ask questions. That's it. Well, let's take a look at this race. I think we have like 10 minutes left. We got 15 minutes until the window. 5 minutes till the window closes. I do have the horsepower comparison pulled up. The current money line favorite is Oceanic Driving, which is one of the horses I highlighted. Second favorite is Tied Up, also another one we highlighted, but they're both in the realm of A+, S- carrying the extra weight that I don't like. So Tied Up's carrying 125. Oceanic Driving is 123. So that means the B's are carrying 11 pounds less, but we'll see. I don't know if I think we have an A+ that wins this race. I don't know if these B+ are strong enough. This one's a first time starter, so anything could happen. And then Hobo, 7 starts, a second and third. Not looking promising. And then there's only one A. 2 A's. Wicked Witch could have an outside shot. Might sprinkle a little win bet there.
And Lacey's horse, Berserker's Fury.
Berserker's Fury is up there. It could have a shot. I didn't see the results, but also I don't know if this horse has run distance yet. This might be the first time. No, it did. Okay, so it ran second. I don't know. It hasn't run a handicap. That's why I have the thing. Built up for handicap and restricted racing. I don't know why it didn't show up, or did it? Berserker's Fury. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show up. Interesting.
Hey, you and Lacey have been killing with them picks, man. It's actually kind of cool to see how these handicap formulas start to,
I will tell you this, and not a lot of people know this about Lacey, and I want to get my bets in while I talk. And I think I'm just going to sprinkle Wicked Witch to win, and I'm just going to hammer the S- and A+ for show, just because I have zero trust. So let me do that. But Lacey, so back in the Z days, there was a couple guys that streamed, and they had a wager bot set up. So you just wagered like fake points in the chat, and you could do the way they had it set up. You could do exotics as well, but the exact in the trifectas.
Oh, nice.
But I remember watching, and I birded. Like I said, there's lurkers. So I used to lurk for a little bit, and 3 nights in a row, Lacey, biggest bankroll. Lacey, biggest bankroll. Lacey, biggest bankroll. And I said, let me try this out. Let me get in here and let me see if I can't, compete with Lacey. So then I start playing, and I finished in the top 5 the one night, top 5 the next night, and I knew from then that Lacey was going to be she's a closet degenerate, we'll call. I'm eating ramen for a week, and then the next day I bought another horse. That's the Lacey I know. That's the Lacey I know. But she's low key a solid handicapper. Low key, she knows what she's doing. So don't let her fool you with I can't believe I won. She knows she won. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. But yeah, good luck to Lacey. I need to get her up here. It's been a while since I had her up on a stream. But we have the win pools. Pretty juiced, 23K, 1.6 in the place pool, and then the show pool with just under 4K. So that's looking pretty nice for race 1. And you got a minute and 30 to get your wagers in. Mo, who do you like in this race?
I think I'm kind of on tied up here, but
I know you're not a big fan of the win play show, so I got to convert you every week a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you were watching Thursday night, but man, if I would have taken your advice, I would have won the nice amount of Derby because I had the horse that ran second, and I was like, man, there was no place. There was very few place bets on that horse. Or any on that horse actually. I probably would have cleaned up.
People
I was like, damn it, DoughBoy was right again. I was like,
listen, man, it's sometimes one of these. I spent too much time yip yapping, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. Let's see, we have 10 minutes until the next one closes. So when this
I
one
have a tendency to
closes,
derail every conversation. So.
yeah, whatever. I don't care. Listen, the chat knows that these races are open. They don't need me to sit here and tell them, even though that's what I said I was going to do from 10 to 11. But it's fine. Content's content. We still got there, and the win pool's still looking nice. So good for chat. 28,000 in the is that the funded pool, or is that the? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we had 28,000 in the total pool.
Whew.
And then race 2. All right, so 22 seconds. We're just going to jump over to race 2. Let me clear the horsepower shenanigans. Did you get anything entered in any of these races tonight, Mo?
Nah.
Skipped?
Yeah, I was gonna throw one of my 2-year-olds in the second one, but it's a 0% chance of rain, so. It didn't want to go in yielding, right? It wound up going fast, yeah.
Soft on the first one, the 16 horse, and then fast on the second one. So let's clear list. Oh, excuse me. Wagering is ended for the first race. The second race, we're also going 12 furlongs. We're going right turf fast. So let me get this cleared off. Get RTF. So these are all the horses that prefer RTF, I believe. Guess I could put yielding's not gonna. We'll put yielding on too, whatever.
I tend to leave yielding. I tend to leave yielding on both.
I should, because it matters.
Although you hit and I don't have the time, so I should probably not be giving you any advice here.
Good handicap. Nah, listen, man. Everyone plays the game different. You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone approaches things different. I just like to, I like to narrow it down to what I'm getting to. So here we're at 10. So this is from 10 to 12 furlongs. We have 4 horses that have ran in handicaps at this distance on RTF: Archer, Mongolia, Morocco, and Montserrat. I believe that's what it is. If it's not, oh well. It's close enough. B plus, A plus. This is 12 furlongs, correct? 12 furlongs. Now we'll see. I don't know if you're doing this behind the scenes as well, Mo.
I am, yeah.
Wonderful. So none of them have run at 12 furlongs. Appears. 11 furlongs. Archer is the only one at 11. And then Mongolia, Morocco, the 3 M's all have results at 10 furlongs. Interesting. Mongolia looking like the best option out of them. Full max. Oh, wow. 9 of 9 on the stars. More stars, more betters.
Sheesh.
That seems to be the trend this past week. More stars, more betters.
Yeah, that's why I wonder if building the base right now is smart. Again, my horses, most of them not producing, but they are keeping their stars as they go up the line. But yeah, David's got some strong preference horses there.
Yeah, he's got some. I guess he's been focusing on the B plus area. I don't know. I haven't really taken a look in his stable to see. I just know that he had a ton of B's to start, so I imagine that's where he's staying. All right.
I think he likes to kind of handle the whole ecosystem. I don't know how high he goes up. I mean, David's amazing. I mean, if it wasn't for David, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you right now. I mean, he pretty much was the guy that reached out to me. Was like, hey man, we got to get this thing rolling, and just kind of introduced me to everybody, and so I have so much love for David, man. Such a good guy.
Yeah. He doesn't go higher than A, so
up in the A, yeah.
Yeah, it appears that he's going to be, I guess, leveling up, trying to do it that way, which is, it's not bad. Every stable is different, and it's nice to see a stable in here that doesn't go past an A breed. So, and be competitive with that,
It's probably why me and him get along.
Fair enough.
I was the bottom feeder for so long. I was like, man, I just need these B's and A's, man.
Fair enough. Morocco. Let's check out Morocco now. His other entry. 3 starts and a win. Oops. Win at 6 furlongs. Has run 10 furlongs. Looks like it's stopped a little bit. It's definitely not carrying weight in this race, so maybe that helps it a little bit more against the other horses. And then Montserrat and Archer, the other B. So there's 2 Bs, and then it looks like they're all pretty similarly placed in odds. I believe that these were juiced, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it looks like it was juiced.
Yeah, David in here with all the Bs and B pluses. He might finish 1, 2, 3. Honestly, maybe that's the bet.
The David trifecta.
Yeah. Everything's. I like how like Stens is everything is the solar system. In HHR, it's all countries. You know, it's great.
So I was wondering what they do though. Say they go to countries, and when they run out of countries, they're gonna go down to like states and like territories, and then they're gonna go down to like cities and then roads and then basically like block names. Like, I would imagine it's gonna get they're gonna run out of names eventually. Well, maybe not if they go down the way I was saying, but
then you just start doing cities inside those countries. No big deal.
Right, that's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah.
Figure it out. So no one's really run 12 furlongs. I think there's only one horse that's run 12 furlongs. I think it was.
Which is weird, right? Because RTF, aren't they mainly long rangers, or there's no?
Yeah, I mean, mine is my S minuses, but like, whatever, doesn't mean that every horse is. So this is going to be one to handicap. Interesting. This would be a close one. Maybe it is. Maybe it is one of the Bs. Be interested to hear what chat has to say. Whoever's here, if you got a ticket. Oh shit! There's people in here. I gotta remember to check. Look. Oh yeah, Great Sten showed up. It's very nauseating when we give you props and credit. Who else is here? Yeah, see, got lurkers. Shout out to the lurkers.
Right.
David keeping the lower level dreams alive. I mean,
yeah, I don't know why I thought he went up to S minus, but I guess I was wrong. Maybe early on, maybe he unloaded tickets. I don't remember, but I could have sworn he had S minuses when I first met him.
Stens is going with Hobo in race 1, I think. Is that what it is? Yes.
But yep, because he doesn't like money.
Yep. Listen, man, it's a handicap. Anything can happen. Hobo could spike a win. Listen, I spiked on the one B plus in the I can't remember how many weeks ago it was, but when I put my bet in, it was 64-1, and someone else bet it and it went to 29-1. I'm definitely not complaining about 29-1. I'll tell you that right now. But sometimes you just get lucky. They just get underlooked. So if you're the only one that's in on that horse, then 9, almost 10-1 is not terrible. We can end it with 13. So yeah, I'm on 13, and then I have the 15 and 16 to show because I don't know if they can win, but I definitely think they can hit the board. But Hobo is definitely not out of the question. So good guy Stens with a potentially solid wager there. And if not,
well, we probably should just refer to him as Sten because we've been too nice to him apparently. So maybe.
Well, he's not good guy Stens anymore. He's relatively okay guy Stens.
So, now downgrade a little bit at least. All right.
Well, you got downgraded. You got to downgrade every once in a while. You got to let him know. It's just like Ron Swanson calling everyone the wrong name to keep them in check.
Yep. Well, I know people that.
Scotty.
I know. I got buddies of mine that do that shit intentionally to women. It's hilarious.
I do it at work all the time. To the people that I do it to the people that like I work in a cafe, I guess we'll call it, but we do commissary and send out. But in our kitchen we do all the savory foods, so we got a bakery too. These people in the bakery, man, they don't have the knowledge that I have. So when I try and correct them on something, they look at me and they're like, well, "What do you know? You don't work over here." It's like, all right. I'm calling you the wrong name next time I see you, and I'm just going to call you the wrong name, a different name every single time from here out until you realize that I'm smarter than you, and that's all that matters. But yeah, the cocky
thanks a
people,
lot, Frank.
I hit him with that. I hit him with that. Keep him in check. You know, fuck out of here.
Gotta do it.
Gotta teach these kids how the ways of the world are. It's not all.
You had to keep me in check like a week ago because I apparently I don't think we've spoken since this, dude. When I was putting together that show to talk with Sakis that day, and I was like, man, I just need a show name real quick, and I threw that out there, and you were like, hey, you mean like this show? And I was like, oh, I was like, whoops, I was like, my bad.
Got hit him with the eyeballs.
It was literally up the top of my head. I was just like, I just need a show name real quick.
It's an
it was stable talk. Yeah, I was thinking like, we're sitting down at the table, right? Stable talk, table talk. But yeah, I was like, that was too funny.
And I was like, I literally had the background up. I was like, is Mo big time me? Is Mo big time me right now?
No, that was my bad, bro. Like that was just like I was streaming in 5 minutes, and I was like making the overlay, and I'm like,
I was trying to think of it. I have some other ones. I have other names in my back pocket that I was saving, but like when we used to do karaoke back in the day, like after the races, we'd go out. We'd go out for dinner at TGI Fridays, you know, get drink specials, and
the race coming up here in 10 seconds, by the way.
I want to close these tabs out because I know how it gets. Shit, I closed out the wrong one. You know, we'd go to Fridays and they would have you know, karaoke, what have you.
Oh hell yeah! All right, here we go. All right, race fans, it's time here for After Dark with DoughBoy on Tuesday night. We got a packed field here for you in the first one. DJ After Dark Race 1, handicap stakes. And they're racing After Dark, and it's Aqua Royal Patch going to shoot out to lead. Then come Princess Jasmine. Bella Loco trots out in third in front of Berserker's Fury. Then comes Solitude in fifth in the Aqua Teal Silks, and Shurima going to round out the top leaderboard here at 16-1 as this field heads out bound for the first time down the backstretch in this 12 furlong left turning affair on the turf. Track is soft and racing is good here. After Dark, opening quarter and 26 and change. Slow pace here to get going. Aqua Royal Patch now joined on the inside by Princess Jasmine as Princess Jasmine takes over the lead. Opens up by 2, then comes Shurima. Berserker's Fury looking for an early move here along with Tied Up on the extreme outside. If Tied Up did find some room here, Aqua Royal Patch is back with a vengeance as they shoot down past the clubhouse for the first time. Half mile and 52 and change. Princess Jasmine starting to pull away with it here early on as they get ready to go past the big cement balls for the first time and cross the wire. Everybody wave to your current leader, Princess Jasmine. Princess Jasmine carrying 6 pounds, but you still look good in them jeans, sweetheart, as she trots along here, tied up in second. Aqua Royal Patch might have found some traction there with Dragonfly as Dragonfly moves up and takes over third. Berserker's Fury in fourth, Solitude rolls up. Oceanic Jiving, which I believe is the post-time favorite at 6.62-1, is rolling here. He's got about 3 furlongs left to go, 3 quarters in the books, 119, as they head down the backstretch here one more time. Princess Jasmine across the bays, trying to make it look easy here tonight, but Tied Up joins up here on the outside, awkward eye contact, but now falls back, relegates back to second. Princess Jasmine, the machine, the Aztec warrior of her own, now tucks in down at the rail and tries to bring this field home. 1 mile and 1:44, and opens up by 3 again over Tied Up, who might have called it a day and backtracks, and that's unfortunate because that's where my money went. Princess Jasmine still there, now a break of 7 to Wicked Witch. Tied Up, Oceanic Jiving, Berserker's Fury. I feel like it's been mid-pack the entire race. Bello Loco is there as well as they start to get going. Watching out for Oceanic Jiving, trying to live up to the hype. But Princess Jasmine's off the top of the stretch now and heading for home. That lead was 7, but it's closing with every stride from Oceanic Jiving. Oceanic on the outside, Princess Jasmine on the inside as they hit the 8th pole, 100 meters to go. One more stop here for Oceanic Jiving, but Princess Jasmine's looking for a prince. Grab the magic carpet. We're getting out of here. It's going to be Princess Jasmine over Oceanic Jiving and Berserker's Fury.
I feel like Sten's played us there.
I feel like that's exactly what happened.
I think Sten played us there. Wire to wire with the A+.
Wow.
And then, all right, Oceanic Jiving with the second. Tied Up was up there, but again, the weight, it's really tough to rely on an S-.
No, you're right.
ran fourth. So Stens wasn't too far off there, and the agreement, we're pretty much in agreement that there's a world that horse could pop off and be there. But yeah, that there was no beating the winner today. The winner was winning, and that was pretty much pretty obvious. So shout out to Absolute Horsepower, Oceanic Jive in second for OEB, and then shout out to Lacey finishing third, and then Hobo with the fourth. Where else did we finish there?
Lacey did want to take it third. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's a good little payday.
I had a large show bet on Oceanic Driving, so we got there. Maybe we break even. My two like bigger bets were on. I bet the S- for show, but like I said, one of those two could definitely pop up and finish third. So maybe we get a little bit of a recoup there. On to the next one. Congrats to the winners of the two. That was nice. I think it's 12-1 also.
Oof.
15.
There you go.
Ooh. And I don't know how many people. I think there was only 300 placed on it. I don't know what they juiced. I don't know how much they put across the board for the win pool. I feel like they juiced it a little bit, but I don't know what they put on. But yeah, congrats to the winners. And then whoever had, let's see, Lacey had some show bets, and Oceanic had one place bet, and then the big show bet for me. So let's go. I don't know. We might break even there. Doubtful. All right. 640, 7, 8. All right, we're down 93 Derby. I'm down $1. Fuck, sue me. That's
wow, you had all that entertainment and action, and you're only down $1. I mean, where else can you get that type of freaking experience in life?
Yeah, I know. Everything closed up here. So who's our morning line favorite here? I don't think I got a wager in here. I think I skipped. Yeah, I skipped. But it was gonna be one of the B's. I just couldn't decide. But I'm glad I skipped. So River of Dreams, 5-1, and then the pair of B's behind it.
Wait, who owns River of Dreams? Damn Stens.
Good guy Stens.
Oh man, I was about to say I need to buy that horse, but nah.
I didn't even check. Listen, hopefully it runs last and you get a little discount, a little DJ discount.
One of my favorite songs of all time, man.
Oh, the music names.
In the middle of the night.
That is a banger.
Come on, man. When that shit breaks down at the end, it's like, I'll be walking in the middle of the, the doo-wop acapella shit, bro. Oof.
I did, and it goes back to the naming, which is nice, because like I said, Stens is going to run out of fucking planets eventually, unless he starts making up his own. But in beta, all of the falls that I had, I named after Hey Arnold characters. So by the time season 8 rolled around, I think I had all the main characters and like a bunch of sub characters from breeding the offspring too. So we ended up with like 13 or 14 cast members before they ended up closing beta, which was kind of nice. But yeah, it's always nice to see the angle that people take with naming their horses. I like the strong one-word names that stand out and that you'll remember. Everyone else has their own thing. Song titles, lyrics, what have you. All right.
Yeah, we tend to be all over the place because I have so many damn syndicates. Like, I can't have one naming pattern.
Yeah, and that's a good. Sometimes it's a good problem to have. Sometimes it's not. If you're good at naming your horses, it's a good problem to have. All right, so we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds until this pops off. I put the Big Risque After Dark 125K into the MJ machine, and this is for older horses, a claiming tag of 125K. I don't think anyone's getting claimed in this race, so we're running for a prize pool of winner gets 13K basically. It's kind of nice. Entry was 6K. You had a nice little crown, fat crown stimmy on there.
That is a fat crown stimmy.
So let's check out. Now we'll do all claiming. Now
what's that? 408 crown. Damn.
Now we're on even fields. 4 furlongs, left dirt. Ooh, we got a fast one. Let's go.
You get back $90 in crown for that race.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sometimes you get paid to race. It's nice.
Yeah.
Now they have Arctic up here, but like I said, I had this horse beforehand, And this horse is not a sprinter, so my man's is in here farming Crown, 100%. Praying for.
I have watched Arctic Run, yes, and I can correlate that. He's not a sprinter.
Do not bet that horse. Dude, listen, chat, you can do whatever you want. I will just let you know I had that horse for a little bit. 11, 12 furlongs. That's where it has to be. In 10 and 15,000 claimers. That's where it has to be. Right now is the time where it doesn't matter where you run. You're basically, the older horses you're looking to acquire Crown. So, that horse will probably be running in the high Crown races until, forced retirement. But out of the field, it looks like Gucci Mane might be the winner of this race, just on a quick glance. Fiery Knight, the A+ might have a slight advantage, but I like Gucci Mane with the nice, almost full 10 boost over it, who also still has results.
Fiery Knight's in this race, huh?
Yeah, Fiery Knight's in here also, so that's another one to.
Interestingly enough, I originally owned this ticket. This was my A+, and I was like, man, there's no shot I want this horse going into live with these shitty preps. So I had to sell it. I mean, it seemed to hold up all right over its career. I mean, I just said I didn't get into photo finish to play claimers, and I think I said that since day one. Like, especially early on. Like, once I get 2-3 crops, and I can just throw them out there and say go make me some money. Yeah. But early on, I'm like trying to get the building pieces.
All right, here you go. Take it away.
All right, here we go. Alright, race 2 coming at you here after dark. Don't forget to like the channel. Trying to get this man monetized here over on Twitch. Gonna make it happen. And they're rolling here in After Dark Race 2. Archer breaks best of it from the inside, but joined tightly by a massive pack here of Mongolia, Punta, Montserrat, River of Dreams, and Lisa Lowe as it's 6 across the track. How Lisa Lowe can you go? As now as HHR falls back here in the early going. We'll see at the finish wire there, Davis. Mongolia is now off the board, but Archer opening quarter, 26 and change now, got it in hand, down at the rail. Black screen here seems to cut off. I'm gonna pretend like we're gonna keep calling this race, even though I can't see it. Now up in front is Mongolia. I'm gonna pull up my own race here and see. Oh boy, now I'm completely off. All right, and we're in slow motion. I don't know if you guys. And now this is around the gate. Archer on the inside. And now we're back here. River of Dreams take over the lead. And River of Dreams shoots to the front as this field heads down the clubhouse for the first time. And that was just worth it to watch your face to know if that was really messed up or not. And now Punta has had enough of River of Dreams, as Billy Joel is not a fan. Takes it over now and shoots past the wire here for the first time. Half mile and 52 and change for Punta. Everybody wave to your current leader. Hopefully they remember to go around here a second time there in the back. But Punta now joined again by Mongolia. Told you he'd be back on the inside. Awkward eye contact. The challenge as these two now settle off into the sunset. Morocco, another break of 3, starts to get rolling here with Lisa Lowe. River of Dreams, try to make a comeback here and crack the top billboard yet again. As rolling in the 6 hole on the outside, but he's got some room to go. 3/4 and 118, down the back stretch, across the pond for Morocco. Morocco's trying to hold this one tight now. Only a half-length lead over River of Dreams. River of Dreams, 8 pounds, says, come see me, son, and takes back the lead and yoinks it over from Morocco. Now it's River of Dreams, race to lose here on the outside. Another break of 1 to Morocco, then Punta. These 3 tightly knit here on the top of the course. Mongolia still tucked in down at the rail. Anybody's race here. But Montserrat and Lisa Lowe got some room to make up. On to the far turn we go now as Morocco tries to create some separation. Morocco's there on the inside, runs along with Punta. River of Dreams might have checked out yet again. But Morocco and Punta, these two side by side, mano a swine. But Morocco tries to get the best of it here and kicks clear with a perfectly timed move. Now it's Morocco by 2. Punta's there, falling apart like an old Buick. Lisa Lowe's in full force down the center of the track. But Morocco tries to hold on here past the 8th hole. Morocco on the inside, Lisa Lowe, River of Dreams yet again. And it's going to be Morocco trying to hold on. But hold the phone, it's going to be Lisa Lowe on the bob. Oh, Nelly. Lisa Lowe's going to bring this one home over Morocco. Holy crap.
Jeez.
See, now I thought she was gonna go by, and I almost called it the other way.
Shout out, Brian. Had the place bet in the last race, has the winner this race. Congratulations. That was a nice stretch run. That was an excellent stretch run.
Oh man.
I should have never checked Discord.
Yeah. So the race was slow motion, then it came back normal, but I think I would just mess with you and keep doing it in slow motion.
That's all right. That's all right. One of the Bs was up there. Wow, the other two Bs ended up shitting the bed. Interesting. But yeah, Morocco stayed up there, basically. Just got beat. Oh, grass stables. That's some nice silks we got there, homie.
Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't even see those.
There's been a couple of nice ones that have been just like sneaking under the radar that I've noticed. I haven't really said out loud because I don't want them to get capped yet. So there's a couple of them I've seen. But congrats to the winners on that. Wait, what did we get the final odds at? 7. We got 7-1 on that. Or no, 8-1. Woo. 8-1 at the wire.
Man, that was something close.
Only one win wager was placed on that one, so that might have also been Brian. Let me check out the next race since that's what we had for. What do we have?
Well, it's like Trot on said, "Come on, Lisa, need to recover that $10 loss on race 1." So that might have been Trot.
Oh, hopefully.
Congrats, man! Yeah, whoever hit that, was what an amazing horse.
I didn't realize you were tight with Sowers, but I did, a couple months ago. You remember saying I got to get you up on stream, so we still gotta. I know of this gentleman from back in the other racing game, and we were trying to get him up then, but busy person.
Oh, you gotta do it, man! I had a chance to meet BD when we did the virtual derby. Because him and Sowers were on.
Interesting people, and he's an interesting person like myself. Yeah, a unique person, I like to say. Very unique,
absolutely,
one of a kind. I could tell that I would already get on good with him, so it's nice. Gotta get him up here. Lost $10 on the first race. That's profit, baby. Can't be mad at profit. Let's go.
Hell no.
Let's go. Yeah, congrats on that win. All right, now we have this next one. We have about 10 minutes left, so we can let's get some cheddar cheese spread out here. Oh, we got 14 minutes. Perfect. Okay. So only 2 A+. And then the higher claiming, when I look at these races, those are the ones I look at first. A+ and S- depending on the claiming tag. We can already assume that it's going to be a 2-horse. I'll be safe to assume that it'll be a 2-horse race. Fiery Night with a 0.
It's got to be Fiery Night. Yeah, he's gonna rub it into me that I sold him.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Honestly, like it's gonna be tough to beat that, but we'll take a look at and see. It's a sprint. Who was the other A+? Brian Barreau, not on the list. Not good. Let's open it up to 6 furlongs and see what happens. Maybe we pop up then. All right, pops up. 7
Let me ask you this. Do you ever adjust the registrant side? Because now that we have these 16, 20-horse fields, you are limiting yourself to the 12 horse field, I think, right?
That's one thing I really never paid attention to until you just brought it up again. I looked at it.
Yeah, because we never really had to. But now I know I catch myself, but I was just wondering if you ever really look at that, because I wonder if he should maybe default that to 20, just to kind of...
I was in a 16 horse field earlier, and I was like... I'm thinking, there has to be a way to adjust, what you're looking at. But most of the time, it never went past, I
5.
It never 5, 6, maybe.
Yeah.
But even for the big handicaps, I never really stretched it out. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. So when we do stretch it out to 6 furlongs, Brian Barreau, or whatever it is, Barreau pops up here with 7 starts and a pretty nice spread on the podium. Not a donkey. I'm not looking at not a donkey. I can't look at the A's either. It's tough. Like Gucci Mane might be consideration for like a show bet, but I really think it's one of the 2 A+. And Fiery Night has the best results at 4 furlongs, it seems. So let's take a closer look at these two. And then I guess for show, you're really seeing. I don't think Arctic can show at 4 furlongs. I don't think not a donkey. So I think the top 3 are your racers that you're looking at. That's your podium. 1, 2, and 3. Whatever way they come in is not for me to decide, but we will take a look at both of these and get a little closer look at the charts. Who do you like in here so far? I assume it's Fiery Knight, obviously. Since we
just because it's Murphy's Law, I have to go with Fiery Knight. What's the actually, it doesn't really matter.
I might bet against Fiery Knight here. I might bet the other A plus. Sorry, I might do that.
Well, yeah, if I'm betting Fiery Knight, I would definitely play the contrarian bet because I'm usually wrong. As my buddies will tell you, just bet against me and you'll probably hit.
Fade me.
Every time, I'm sure you know it, man. Like, you go to tracks or whatever, and like I go with my homie, or we just be playing like at the OTB or whatever, and he'll be like, "Bro, I just hit this crazy exacta. Thanks for the pick." And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's, "Bro, you said you loved the 15 out of English Channel." I'm like, "Yeah, if you did, I got the balls to play him up top." He's like, "Oh, I thought you liked him." I'm like, "I did." He's like, "So what the hell does it mean when you like them?" I'm like, "Well, I just happen to like." I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "I don't know. I guess I just like the breed or I like the style." You know, but I just find it funny because I won't play those bets. You know what I mean? And my homies will hit for like hundreds of dollars and be like, "You didn't have it." So it's kind of the same thing here, you know. Just like look at something.
Twitter, yeah, I get that. Like when someone like usually around Derby Day or the week of, I have like 2 or 3 friends that like, all right, give me your superfecta. And 2 years in a row, I gave them the fucking superfecta, but I never played it myself. And the years that I gave them the superfecta, they hammered those 4. They had the exacta, the trifecta, the super. They bet everything that they could. They didn't bet it. They just bet those 3. They hammered it out. And I had a little bit, but I never. I usually. For the Derby, I give myself a $500 bankroll for the Derby. To most that might seem like a lot, to the average race goer. But for a race like the Derby, when you bet the exotics, you can just be that person who, I like these 3 horses. I'm only going to play these 3 horses, and I'm going to play them straight.
Yep.
And the ticket's going to cost me $2 because that's what I like. My trifecta ticket is normally like 96, like my superfecta ticket is normally like 50 cents is like, in the 50-60 range. Like the Derby is one of those races where I expand my bankroll because if you hit, you fucking hit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's one of the ones I like to be on. So, everyone has a different way, and that's what I try to like. There's going to be we talked about a couple weeks back. There's going to be people that are only going to play show wagers, and there's going to be people that I'm only going to hammer win because why would I split my bankroll up on 2 spots that are going to pay less when I can just win? Well, if your horse finished second, that's why it's nice to have a little bit covered. It's called hedging. Your win play shows your hedge bet. You want your horse to win. But if it doesn't and it runs second, you have the second, third place hedge to try and recoup a little bit. And sometimes you'll break even, sometimes you'll make $10. But breaking even is the best thing you can do in gambling.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's like I typically play the exotics. I'm more of like a $6 to $8 pick 3 player. I like pick 3s. I can pick winners pretty much, just by breeds or whatever alone, drops in class, stuff like that. So that's why I typically play like pick 3 tickets. And I don't normally like to go like this is like my craziest thing, but you might appreciate this, and maybe people in chat. I don't know if I've ever told the story. Remember the horse Giselle? It was back in, I want to say like 2008-ish, 2009.
That's around the time I didn't know.
So I was working as a mechanic, and we used to handicap in the shop, and it was like, yo, who do you like, right? And I was like, all right, cool, boom. We all had superfecta tickets that we came up with. My mom worked at the OTB, so I went there after work to put in my freaking play. Listen to the damn radio announcers on the way, changed my ticket. Giselle goes and wins that freaking race. The superfecta pays 17 grand. I didn't have it because I changed my bet on the way. I still should have played the ticket. That's why you're shaking your head going, you should always play that ticket, right?
You
exactly.
Always know what this came up with. You never talk yourself out of it based on someone else's opinion.
Bro, it was a $4 ticket, man. Bro, it was a $4 ticket. Super effective. The way I play them is I'll usually play like 2 with 2 for first, second, so they can kind of go either way, and then I'll kind of just tack on the end, right?
Yep.
But the worst part about this, and this is why I tell this story, because I show up to work Monday morning, and everyone thought I hit for like 100 G's. And that was like the worst thing in the world, was trying to convince, because they know I'm a jokester. They're like, yeah, of course you didn't have it, asshole. Okay, real funny. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, I actually did not put that friggin', dude, I was distraught, man. That was wild. But a lot of people, Horse Giselle in particular, that was the Preakness. What a race.
There's services out there. Obviously, if you don't trust, if you don't feel like putting the work in, obviously there's people out there that you can pay for those services that do all the work for you. And my one friend is like that. He doesn't have time to do the work, so he pays for a handicapper subscription and just bets whatever he bets.
Sure.
But I'm the type, I don't mind doing. I do that with UFC. Like I'll look at other people's like cards and compare them to mine and see where I'm wrong, or not where I'm wrong, but like where I'm different. But normally that's what I do. Like I'll watch. I won't watch tape, but like I listen to someone who watches the tape and like breaks down the matchups, and then I'll look at the matchups and I'll go judge based off that. But for horse racing, there's very few people that I'll listen to with horse racing. I would rather lose all my own knowledge than listen to someone else. The only people I listen to are the grooms and the jockeys when they used to give me tips. I used to be in the grandstand, and like when the post parade was going out, there were a couple jockeys that they would be fixing their gloves, and they would see me, they would be fixing their gloves, and you see one of these come out, like pulling the glove tight, but giving the "we're winning this race" signal. And I would go up to the betting window, and that's what I listen to, or I do the work myself. Like I said, I like studying the program and handicap.
Well, I like to live and die by my own research. I feel like if I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna hit based on what I do, and if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose based on what I do.
And to touch on this, Lucky, it's you should always go with your gut, but it doesn't hurt to get other people's opinions on the subjects. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
That's the only way you learn, or maybe someone else sees something you don't see. Like, it's always good to take in everyone else's opinion, but the only opinion at the end of the day that should matter is yours. With gambling, anyway. You could be wrong in your opinion in IRL, but it is what it is. But also,
my physical handicapping is pretty damn nasty. Most people will be like, "Holy crap! Where the hell did you see that?" There's just. I like looking for certain things on horses. Like you said, I'm sure you guys have, your little things you look for. Me, I like to see, like, hey, is the front foot and the back foot covering the same track on the ground? I like to watch, is the jockey off by himself, not with the other pony? You know what I'm saying? Side by side usually shows a little more trust with the owner or the trainers, right?
Some of those, and this is one thing that obviously I know because it's part of the everyday of that. Most of the time, when you see the horse not with the pony, mostly it's because those horses need to get warmed up pretty well before they get to the gate. It's like athletes. Some athletes don't,
right.
They don't heat up until, middle of the game because they didn't get warm. There's no way to warm your horse up before they walk over to the paddock from the barn. You're in the stall up until they give the race call, and then you're walking up and walking over. So some horses don't need that warm up. But some horses need an aggressive warm-up, and then they'll break away from the pony. And some horses are assholes and don't like to be with the pony. That's the other reason they go by themselves. Well,
yeah, you can usually tell the ones that are tempered by it or whatever.
Yeah.
But at least from my experience with it, it always seems like the jockeys that are doing it, at least they have some sort of intimate knowledge with the horse itself. Like they've run it a few times before. Like you'll never see an apprentice jockey never rode the horse before, typically out by himself. You know what I'm saying? Even if he has to aggressively warm up the horse, because chances are he's not even riding that horse from the get-go, right? Like you're saying, he knows the horse. He knows he's got to give him that extensive workout before the race. Yeah. So yeah, it's little things like that. But I'll tell you one of my favorite things, dude. The heavy metal symbol? I did it in your stream when I came in. It's my emote. The devil horns or whatever.
Yeah.
If you look at a horse on the track, and I swear, man, my boy sees it, most people don't. I swear, if you see their ears are doing that, they look like they're doing that heavy metal thing, man. Yep. Their ears, it just, yep, you just see it. Yeah, like sometimes you'll see them twitching. Exactly, you'll see they're alert, like really paying attention. But just that poked forward, almost like that heavy metal thing, dude. I look for that all the time, and I will pull like 50 to 1s off the track, and like horse never ran a lick in its life, but it's doing that right before it goes in the gate, and I can get that bet in. I'll be like, damn.
Replays are big, and I feel like you can, maybe you can't learn a lot from the replays in our game, but I don't know how much the visuals like super matter, because that last race we watched the 5 stop like a dog, come back, stop like a dog, and then come back again. So like, is your horse gonna do that every race? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah, watching replays, and again, it's just studying film. Just watching like replays of old UFC fighters that you're gonna bet on. You're trying to see what someone else does, and maybe there's a different bet to be made. But with the ears thing, the alertness is one thing. You could definitely see that with a lot of stretch running. The ones that usually have the ears pinned back are the ones that are like, all right, we're all out. We're trying to win this son of a bitch. We're game today. Like, watch out. It's us. So, yeah.
Yeah, my uncle's got a really good on-track thing he looks for. It's like you look for them horses that look like a chess piece, where their head's like really nice and tucked. It's showing that dominance, like, what I'm saying? Like, they're the prideful horse out there, where you look at the other horse, they're kind of like looking away and like, they're like shy almost. And you look for that dominant horse, and normally it looks like the chess piece. And I love trying to find those on the track, because they typically pay.
Don't let your uncle know this, but most of the time it's because a fucking horse is an asshole, and if you don't keep a hold on him, he's gonna run off with you. Let him keep taking his way.
I mean, they do seem to run. They do seem to run hard. That's why I wonder if there's more like
one thing, like, you can't really see from watching on the TV, but all these horses run with different mouth gear. There's, a ring bit is a common bit. That's just the generic, like, my horse can run with a ring bit, sorry, not a ring bit, a D bit. And it has nothing to do with the mouthpiece. They call it a D bit because the piece that holds the reins together on the side, it literally is shaped like a D. And then they have the ring bit where it's the normal bit in your mouth, but it also has a ring. And that's for horses that try and, like, fucking go off. When you pull back on it, that ring also puts pressure on their mouth to stop them from like acting out of pocket. I remember I claimed a horse, and my dad told me, he's like, make sure when you claim a horse, you write down what headgear they had. If they ran with blinkers, what kind of blinkers. If they ran with a nose band, you write that down. 4 bandages, write that down. Like, you don't want to really change a lot. And I claimed a horse, and let me check how much time we have here. All right, wagering closed.
10 minutes we got? Yeah.
I claimed the horse, and I didn't write down, it was my first horse that I ever claimed, so I didn't write any of that shit down. And my dad's like, a couple of days later, I put my dad up on the horse to go out and take him out for his first morning training with me. And this fucking horse just runs off of my dad. And he's acting like a complete dickhead. He's like, go get me the whip. Like, get the whip. The horse is just not, he's like, did you write down what this horse trained or ran with? And I was like, no. Luckily, the guy that I claimed the horse with, he knew. They have these things called button bits. And what a button bit is, it's a regular bit, but on the right side of the mouth, there's literally a button, so that it's a horse that tries to get out. When you pull from the left, you're pulling that button into their cheek, and it's keeping them to the inside. And
right.
The horse was just trying to get out with my dad, and because I didn't have that knowledge and I didn't write it down, I was an asshole. I put my dad at risk, so not good. But like, there's no equipment in the game other than 4 bandages for the most part, and I don't know if I want to see any like equipment modifications loaded in later. Maybe blinkers, maybe it adds a little more awareness, but like, there's no awareness in here. So, it is what it is at this point.
I guess there is room. I just don't know. How much.
Not right now. I don't want to see it. And if they do it, I want to see extensive testing to see if it like actually. Because like, the reason you put blinkers on a horse is to focus it, because it's looking around during the race. It's looking on left and right. The blinkers keep it focused in, so you only see straight ahead. So,
right, but I don't know how much the other horses affect the horses in photo finish. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't think it's.
I feel like they run their speed or their roll of the race,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like two horses run out to the front and they tire each other out like in real horse racing, and then it sets it up for the closers. Like, we don't really see that. Like you said, you'll get the horses that are just going to run their predetermined roll time according to the computer, and I just feel like they all kind of run, you know, doing what they do.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't ever feel like they because that's where blinkers and stuff like that would come in. Is like I said, because in real life, right, they're affected by the horses real time on the track. They get distracted. They see him coming up on the side. They get spooked.
Yep.
You know, it's I don't know. I don't personally want to see that type of stuff.
I don't want to.
I would love to see like
nice to like maybe not, obviously not anytime soon, but you know, maybe it's something that's like that's like the new hit stick of PFL. You know, who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be so many ways to grow.
But we'll see. There's only about 5 minutes left in the last race, so I'm gonna pull that up real quick before this.
Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that. Yeah.
For wagering, rather, there's 6 minutes left, so we'll take a look at this. It is 8 furlongs right there, sloppy. Chat, thanks for hanging out. If you're still here, I know it's late. That's why it's called After Dark. In case you weren't aware, now you are. But yeah, thanks for chilling with us tonight. You know, Mo's back Thursday night with his After Dark. What time you start? You start at 10, right when the race is closed and wagering opens?
Yeah, 10:15. But I like how you go live early. That was a good chat with Mr. B tonight.
I like to treat my Tuesdays like the first hour. I like to try and have someone up just to bullshit, and then have like a solid hour of checking out the races for After Dark. But you know, it's whatever happens, you know.
No, that's a good format. It's a good format. I just feel like I go live. I give the wrong information these days. I gotta chill because I got so caught up in just, you know, doing what I'm doing with the production stuff on photo finish. Like a lot of stuff that changed on the back end, I didn't even really know real time, and I was like, I'm just giving out wrong information. So I feel like the more I stream, the worse it gets. I gotta just stop lying to people.
Sometimes you get a lot of people, no big deal.
Nah, it's just a Mo guesses alert. I just gotta throw them out there every now and then. But
we'll open it up. But it looks like Just Let Me See It is the only horse that has the feet at 8 furlongs in the claiming fields. When you open up to 7 to 9, we get a little bit more spread out. Aurelius with a second and a third, and he is a true RTS. And we are sloppy in this race. So 1, 2, Aurelius money. The current betting favorite, the A+ with the 2.5 stars and soft. So maybe one of these other A+ pops off and gets them, and we'll take a look. I want to take a little deeper look-see there, but I'm going to go back to 8 furlongs and see if that is in the wheelhouse. Brian just hit me on Twitter. I don't know if that is 3 win, 2 plays. Is that in, which one is that? Is that the race that's coming up next, or is that the last race of the night? Tron.
Oh, it's Wee is in that race. That's right.
Nice. At least you know what you're already in for, so.
Oh, it's about these new horses that are going to be coming out with the names. I've already seen it. People are just throwing names out to mess with me, and it's going to work.
Listen, next month. It's only getting tougher from here on out. You're just getting new names every month from here on out.
Exactly.
The first 7 seasons was first 5 seasons was pretty easy. Everything was a repeat for the most part. It's gonna get tough from here. That's all right. If anyone's up for the challenge, it's probably you. You've been doing this.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Q woo 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 woo. Nice. So
I just call him Q during the race normally.
Yeah, Q's fine. Q's good enough. I'm probably gonna go with Just Let Me See It. I know it's an odd one, but I think that's who I'm gonna roll with. But again, Aurelius is probably just the spot on winner, so I'll probably just bet light. I'll do a light little win. I'll do this little. I don't want to pull the odds. Oh well, there's enough on there that I won't pull the odds down too much. So let's do a little 320. Little $4. I ain't scared of losing that. And we still get solid odds in the win pool on them. So 2 minutes left to get your last wagers of the night in on the 150 After Dark. We got 2 minutes until this one pops off, and this is nice. We end with 2 sprints. Well, a sprint in the mid after two 12 furlong races. All right.
Yeah, I still don't know what kind of races I like the most. I feel like long range are the most rewarding. Because even in real life, I like English Channel, I love long range races. But the sprints are just super fun.
For you, I feel like the mid to longs are a lot easier because you get more time to go through the field. You don't have to feel rushed. But
very true.
Big fan of sprints. Big fan of sprints. Let me get this back up here.
Well, I keep asking the team if there's something, like maybe like a race call companion, which again I feel is tough for me to ask the team to do this because then I'm just like, can you cater to me, please? Which sucks. But like, I need a page with all the horses on it. You know what I'm saying? Because during the race, like the thing, it's hard if there's like 16, 20 horses in a race in some of these races nowadays. I can't really scroll while I'm going through the field. It's very tough. So, for the Derby, I actually write them down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you print something off and just put it right next to your monitor?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I am one of the most tech-savvy people on the face of the planet. Nice. I hate printers and I hate fax machines. I don't fuck with them. Every time I get them, they just, they hate the network that they're on. They don't want a wireless print. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just been a pet peeve of mine. I just email everything. So long story short, I don't have a printer. But you are correct. I write it down by hand, actually, for the virtual derbies. So
that's fair enough. All right, you got 28 seconds. Brian, I got Devo. We'll bring him up. We'll let Mo go to this race, and then we got a couple minutes to shoot the shit. But what's going on, homie?
What's happening?
Damn, what's up, dude?
You got a shirt on this time, I see. That's nice. Shit, I like that.
It ain't even Friday.
So yeah, let me turn this race over to Mo, and then after the race, we'll shoot the shit for a little bit.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
All right. Take it away, Mo.
I got one poker table going. I got queens.
All right, we are playing poker, playing pony.
And I'm all in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for some claiming action. Big risk after dark. And they're rolling. Out to the lead, there goes Gucci Mane, in comes Brian Baru. Fiery Knight trots along in third, followed by Not a Donkey. Then comes Arctic in fifth, gonna round out the back leaderboard here as they head around the opening turn and the only turn in this 4 furlong sprint affair. Heading left on the dirt, track is yielding and racing is good for Treasure Trove, who still shows the way here and tries to kick clear down the home stretch. It's Gucci Mane by 2. Fiery Knight there now off the rail and looking for tail, but Gucci Mane holds strong. Gucci Mane, here he goes. Gucci Mane now goes past the 8th pole, but down the rail comes Brian Baru and Fiery Knight. Insert coin, here comes new challenger. I can't even see who the hell it is. It's Fiery Knight. I told you this son of a bitch was going to win the race because I no longer own the ticket. It's going to be Fiery Knight over Brian Baru and Arctic.
I'll tell you this right now. I thought Arctic was going to win the fucking race. Now I'm sitting here talking shit the whole time.
Oh, I knew that son of a bitch was gonna win.
I
don't remember.
It was one of the 2 A+, and back to back. If we could bet exactas, that was the easiest exacta you're ever gonna get in the world.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Fiery Knight takes it, and then we have 8 minutes until this race starts, and now that means we have 8 minutes to shoot the shit with my man who's not even here right now. Poker player, fucking tour guide. You know that, Mo? You know this guy, the tour guide in the Grand Canyon?
No, I knew he was a poker player, but I was like, you're a freaking tour guide?
Like I said, he's like the most unique character. Yeah, tour guide on the Grand Canyon, burlesque dancer, fucking extraordinaire. You know?
Sheesh.
Poker player.
Yeah, we talked about his poker skills during the virtual derby. We had a chance to shoot the shit, but did not know you were a Grand Canyon tour guide. That's insane.
I am not a Grand Canyon tour guide. I have been a river guide for one commercial trip.
My bad.
That's it.
I thought that was your mainstay because I always saw the pictures you posted.
No, I've been a river guide for over 20 years. I'm an instructor of river guides. I have a legacy in that world. But like the Grand Canyon river guides, those are like the full-time dirtbag, like the badass motherfuckers. I'm too distracted by gambling to be one of them. I can stick my toes into their water, and like I can hold my own, but like they're all better than me.
That's fair. But like honestly, if it came down to it, I think I would rather have your situation. You know, gambling is life, so it's gonna be hard to give that aspect of my life up to be full time.
Yeah, man. Like I've been seeking balance in my life. Basically ever since I made it into the gambling world. Like in 2008 was like my breakout time in poker. I won $1 million on the poker tour that year. In January of 2009, I was on the European poker tour in the fucking Bahamas with a large-breasted brunette girlfriend, like living the fucking dream, right?
It is.
But I wasn't happy. I was happier when I was broke and living in a tent in a van, like down by the fucking river.
Yeah, man.
Down by the river.
And like, one thing, it's like, just to touch on it, it's like, you know, people always say it, and there's, unless you like meet someone who says it, money can't buy happiness. It doesn't matter how much it is. Like, you have to have, like you said, you gotta try, you know, my man's Atmosphere said it best. You're always trying to find a balance, you know, whether it's what it is and how you go about it. It's obviously it's your decision to figure out. But I've known a lot of people that, like, you know, and Biggie said it best: more money, more problems too. You know, like,
totally. I mean, like,
it's tough. It's hard to find someone
like,
who has money who's just generally happy. Like,
totally. And having river guide friends and colleagues really helps put that in perspective. Like, my best friend literally lives in a van. His Instagram is van down by the river. He thinks 10 grand is fuck you money.
That's nice.
like I'm jealous. Like, shit, I wish 10 grand was fuck you money. Like,
yeah, I need friends like that.
Like,
right?
I have some that are just like, they don't. I've known people that have had all the money, and there are people that didn't deserve to have the money. And, you know, who am I to say you deserve it or not? But the way I watched them go about their spending,
yeah,
they didn't deserve to have that money. They just did not. They did not make smart.
And they didn't get happier by spending.
No.
Yeah.
They were miserable with it, and then when they didn't have it, they got even more miserable. So it's like, no money doesn't make you happy, and all the money doesn't make you happy. That's a lot of self discovery you got to do there to figure that out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, simple things in life. You know, I've never been blessed with a lot of money, but when I do have a little bit of walking around money, you know, it is what it is.
Totally. Like,
man. Small things make me happy.
Like, if you're broke as fuck, like, that's stressful. Like, if you're worrying about how to pay the bills, if you're worried about how much your shirt costs, like, that's stressful. But at a certain point, like, what else do you really need? You know, like, and there's been studies on it. Like, it's somewhere around like 75K is like, if you have enough money to be comfortable, any more is just diminishing returns and stressful, as you said. And more money, more problems.
Yeah, like, when I used to have a car. I haven't had a car for the last 5 years because I'm fortunate enough that I can jump on the train and get to work in 25 minutes. So I haven't had a car, and it's nice not having that extra payment to worry about, or that extra money to, like, fuck, I gotta get this inspected. I gotta replace these 4 new tires. You know what I mean? It's nice not having that. But, you know, when you do need a car, then it's stressful because you can't do that. Like, you know, the train can only get me so far in you know, in the East Coast. I can get pretty much wherever I want up and down the East Coast from Philadelphia. But, you know,
you can always rent a car.
Exactly.
Or if you get stranded near Long Island, you hit me up and I got you.
Yeah. I know how to swim. If I gotta swim, I know how to swim, you know. I'm you know, I was very fortunate the way I grew up. I grew up a little bit of, you know, sometimes you gotta drink powdered milk, you know. You know, sometimes you're on the canned soup plan for a little bit, you know, sometimes.
Fucking powdered milk.
You know, you learn how to adapt and survive, as they say, but also it just makes you a different person, not having that shit to rely on. Like, you know, when I go out for a nice steak dinner, I don't go out and get it unless I earned it. Like, I'm not a frivolous spender like that. Sometimes I'll spend, but the stuff that I, like, dump my money on is mostly food because I'll enjoy it right there in that moment. And if it's good enough, I'll remember it forever. Fuck buying shit. I haven't bought new clothes, I'm not gonna lie, since fucking COVID. I've been rocking the same shit because I don't leave the house. But
Bro, I got shirts from high school. Let's say sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. Like, this thing's shredded up. This thing's seen more raves and concerts, dude, and it's insane. And I still got these shirts.
Yeah, it's nice. I got a homie who around me in central Pennsylvania is a lot of what I call hee-hawville. It's a lot of hillbilly area. It's not really, but it is. And I know a guy who lives out in the sticks, and you can't hear a car when you go out in his front porch. You can't hear. The only thing you hear is the forest, and I love it, and he loves it. And he's like, "This is what I worked to get to this. Now I don't need to live in the city. I did enough to. This is my paradise. This is my kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to worry about neighbors getting mad because my music's loud. That makes me happy. I don't have to worry about not finding a parking spot living in the city. That makes me happy." And he just acquired his happiness by moving out into the sticks. My cousin's about to do the same thing. My cousin, he moved out to Colorado to, he had to move into the city for his job, but now it's remote. So he's like, yeah, I'm coming back home. I'm buying a house in the mountainside in the sticks, and that's it. Set me up. I don't want to deal with people. Give me some land to grow my own vegetables on, and I'm good to go. So. Happiness comes in many forms.
Y'all come on down to Terlingua. I got you.
Listen, man. Like I told you, when Zook and I tried to get you on for the last game, I want to come down and take one of these tours. You know what I mean? Like I gotta check this shit out, man.
Middle fucking nowhere, man.
Yeah, I love it. When I go to visit my family in Mexico, like I stay with my aunts in the city, and then I'll go out to the mountains with my grandparents on the ranch and. Middle of fucking nowhere. I love it. Beautiful. Go swimming in the river, take a nice little bath, It's beautiful time. But enough of that.
Terlingua is part of those same central Mexican.
What's that? Oh, my bad. We'll touch after this.
Terlingua is part of those same mountains. Like
my family's from Sinaloa.
My dentist is Mexican. Simone.
Nice. My dad's Mexican.
All right.
Take it away, Mo.
All right, holding about those in the gate, and they're off here in the all and after dark. I don't know what the hell I just said. I just saw it in a movie. It's Crown for Life, shoots out to the lead, then comes Dog on the internet. Aurelius trots along here in third in front of Just Let Me See It, and then it's Quick with some cues in between. That's going to round out the back here as they head into the opening turn in this 8 furlong right turning affair in the dirt. Track is sloppy even, and I am lidded into shit tonight. My apologies, but it's Dog on the internet who tries to hold this one strong here in the early going. Opening quarter in 25 and change. Dog on the internet still there up top. Break of 2, Aurelius. Now comes Quick, which moves up into third. Just Let Me See It still trots along in fourth, and the new trailer is now Crown for Life. That's a motto that we all live by these days, but that will end eventually. Enjoy it while it lasts. But for now, and speaking of wild last, the lead up top for Aurelius is now a length over Quick on the outside. Dog on the internet, one-time leader now, backtracks into third. Crown for Life looks to get rolling here, and Just Let Me See It is trying to just take last, it looks like, and no kick for the big dog tonight. Half miles in the books, around the far turn we go now, and it's Aurelius who's now joined on the outside by Quick, who just wants to make me say that name over and over again here down the final stretch. I can feel it, Chad. Can you feel it? This is the nightcap. This is the finale. Quick, now off the top of the stretch. Those street lights are on, and Mom is calling. Don't piss her off. She's got a whip, but it's Quick, who now kicks clear by 2. Aurelius said might have called it a day, and Dog on the internet's just trying to save face for place, but Quick past the 8th pole is gonna bring this one home with ease over Aurelius and Dog on the internet. 4-2-5 order finish.
Jeez, the A+. The other A+. Got better odds on that one. A little 5-1 action on that. Son of a gun. The Aurelius backers got hosed. Be like that sometimes. Them the breaks.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Smaller field.
Well, I didn't get you ready in time, but so that'll end the after dark races. But I do, and maybe I'll have to, Brian. I'll get it settled. I do want to get you on again, maybe for like maybe if you're around next Tuesday for the first hour, because I do want to pick your brain about your experience here so far.
I would be happy to be a part of that.
I know you're doing some stuff with Sours now. I think you did the last derby. I was supposed to do the handicapping section for the derby on Saturday, but unfortunately I wasn't around. But when I saw who he got to fill in, I was like, all right, that makes sense. I didn't realize you guys were tight like that.
Yeah, I've known Sours for
like
15 years.
Too. Back to, I want to go back real quick because maybe you know some of the people that I know from poker.
Probably.
You know Tony Gregg?
No. Oh yes, I do know Tony Gregg briefly.
Yeah,
briefly. He was one of the hot shots when I was on my way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up with him playing Magic the Gathering, and
I started playing Magic the Gathering.
And then we, in between rounds, we would have cash games.
Hell yeah, that's sweet.
And they didn't let us use poker chips, so we would use basic lands as the chip count.
That's
so
good.
Mountains were 10, swamps were 50s, quarters were islands. We had our own little system going, but
that's amazing.
Back in the day when
I tore a beta Lotus.
Oh, nice.
When I was like 12 fucking years old.
I have a guy
for $300.
He uses his Lotus as a coaster just to piss people off.
Jesus Christ.
I love it. He just loves to troll people. And the one day he posted a picture. He's like, "What's your coaster? What do you use for a coaster?" And he's just like, "Black Lotus,
Unlimited Lotus."
The comment section was just livid, and it's like, I love it. And he doesn't have like fuck you money, but he's a dealer, so like he has.
Fuck you money is relative, bro.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, this is how I roll. Don't bring any. I don't want to see your custom coasters. Here's a custom coaster for you. Here's a $15,000 coaster. Big deal.
But dude, when I was a kid, man, like that tiny little shop in Laverne, California, that I cut my teeth gaming. Like I've literally been gaming for a living for my entire life. Like I was on the Magic Pro Tour in the mid-90s. I went to the Star Wars collectible card game, and then poker on the internet. Like my whole fucking life.
Which Pro Tour did you play in?
Well, what?
Which Pro Tour did you play in?
It was before there was even a Type 2. Like it was all like
it was old extended. I think it was old extended.
Like I got out of Magic when they went Type 1, Type 2. I was all offended by them printing more IT manipulators.
And now you pick a format you can play with. Dude, what a simple time it was back then. But yeah, Tony was one of the Baltimore cats that I knew. And when Tropicana Poker was out, that was the first poker site we all played on because I could send you money, you could send me money. So we would PayPal him or give him cash. Then when he got home, he would just pay everybody out in poker money because he was the one that was winning everything at the time. So yeah, that's nice. Small world. I was talking to Sours about that too. I was like, yeah, we know we know the same people because the poker grinders were all Magic players back then. So just knew everybody. But yeah, I definitely want to get you on and I want to get your full story. I know I definitely owe you that.
I'd be happy to.
From the last game, and
Thank you.
Got my good pal Zook maybe coming out of retirement, so maybe I'll line it up when I have him back.
Cool.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming up. Mo, obviously, I always appreciate you calling these races because
hell yeah, man.
The only thing I would do is sit here and make note of who's changing and who's coming up. I don't really call races like that. I just give my scientific view. But
it's all good. You just gotta put up with my weird rants every now and then. But other than that, it's always a good time coming up. Brian, good talk to you again, man. Let's
thanks, man.
Looking forward to seeing you. Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to seeing you up in the spaces a little bit more too, man. The more you guys that are doing content, that means the less I have to do on my own. So I appreciate the hell out of that.
It's always good, man. Everyone's here. Everyone's having a good time. I have to set my like you said, like and subscribe and all that stuff. I have to set my account up. I hit affiliates, so I need to do all that shit and get it going.
Oh, you did? Well, I was gonna pump it anyway because I'm like I might as well. I wasn't sure,
Yeah, I got there. I just don't. I know it asked for a bunch of tax information. I guess for like gift subs and shit, or subs in general. So I gotta look into that.
The onboarding shit should be pretty quick, but yeah, I would do it, man. And I'd probably make the account over at Kick. You know what I'm saying? Because they do a 90% cut over there too.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing I know a lot of people going over there. I just have to set everything up. I got YouTube, but YouTube's whatever. That's where I have it so it records everything for futures. But yeah, thanks. As we approach midnight here on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
To an end. And again, Mo, thank you for coming up and calling the races and showing for a little bit.
Sure,
Devo, I appreciate you coming up. Like I said, I want to get you back on. We'll get a little bit more. We'll have a nice, it won't be a 25, 30 minute. I'll get you on when you have some time. We'll shoot the shit, go over your stable.
I look forward to it. Appreciate you, boys.
Man, But again, everyone, thanks.
Sweet.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next week. Thursday, Mo will be live. You on live at 10, Mo?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
All right, 10 o'clock for Mo. Yeah, make sure you're not running your horses inside the 24-hour mark so you don't pay your fucking bet bills, everyone. I see too many horses breaking down. Sometimes you got to wait. That's the game. You got to wait that extra 3 hours or else you risk it. But
Very good call out. Yeah, definitely do that.
Attention to detail. Pay attention to that kind of stuff. You got smaller stables, easier to pay attention to. But if you're 10 plus, 15 horses, sometimes it gets out of hand. But just
real quick, I'll say, because I talked to Mike about it, and I think he fixed it already. Early beta, when you registered your horse, it would actually tell you the status of the horse at that race time.
Yeah.
That changed in beta and never got reverted back to how it should be. I think Mike actually fixed that. That dude's been doing a lot of fine tuning on the go. I'm pretty sure it's him. So shout out to whoever the hell is fixing that, because now you can actually tell when you join the race exactly what the horse status is at race time. So that, to me, that's massive. No more doing math on the fly.
Yeah.
No more worried about being wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
about it, I always think, again, for me, it was 1 or 2 horses at a time, so I really didn't have to sweat it that much because I knew. So I find my race in advance and I'm good. But it's one of those.
Yeah, I just figured I'd throw it out there because
it's turned on now. Injuries. Gen Zero was no injuries, but now we're playing for keeps. So definitely keep an eye on that when you're registering and be on your P's and Q's, mind them up. But that's gonna be the end of it for tonight. I'll catch everyone next time. Mo, see you Thursday night. Devo, I guess
yes,
like I said, we'll work something out. We'll get you back, and we'll have a fun night. But I appreciate
Devo, good to see you again, brother. Chat, have a good night.
Take it easy, everyone.
All right, guys, talk to you soon.